Good morning. Welcome in to the game plan. It is a Wednesday morning, little midweek show, a little show we like to call Hump Day. 1410 AM, 93.9 FM. We are the sports leader, KGSO. You can catch us live streaming on our website at kgso.com. Catch us through the app. Listen anytime, anywhere. Get that downloaded in the App Store, SC Wichita. We got multiple streaming networks as well with Facebook Live, YouTube, X, and Twitch TV. You can watch, listen, leave comments for the show on any of those platforms. Doug Downs, Chuck Fairweather strolling in here with his bucket of fruit.
Yeah.
Was a line long at the convenience store today or what?
No, so I stopped at the one close to my house. I left earlier than normal, and I guess between stopping at the wrong stop, and because it was busy in that one.
All right.
Busier than normal, and then I had every flipping red light for the longest period of time possible, I think, on the way here. That was it was a weird drive in this morning.
All right.
Normally, yee.
Give you a chance to catch your breath here. Let me talk about what we got on the show. We're here for the next 3 hours. We want your phone calls at 522-1410, our Maximum Outdoor Equipment hotlines. We got a lot to get to today on the show. We got a little baseball to talk about. Boy, I don't know what's going on with the Royals. Something got in the water they're drinking, but all of a sudden they've exploded at the plate. Another big night last night, scored a ton of runs, end up winning a game 16-12, which was just absolutely crazy. So we'll get into some of that today. We got some NFL news today. We will spend an hour in hour number 2 with our guy Andy Stats from Frisco in the Big 12 Media Days. Some interesting comments yesterday from Brett Yormark, the commissioner. We got some audio on that we're going to feed you throughout the morning, and whatever else is on your mind at 522-1410. Let's get to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, gentlemen. This is Corey. How are y'all?
Corey, we're doing good.
Morning.
Corey.
Doing good.
I favor BYU to go real deep, gentlemen. They talked to the quarterback yesterday, and I saw on ESPN. And, he said he loves playing with the coach and stuff. I really give BYU what they did last year, Doug. And then
yeah, I mean, I think BYU is going to be good in this conference. I don't pick them to win this conference, but I think that they'll be good.
Do you think of winning Big 12 this year? Do you think?
Honestly, I probably would at this point in time give the nod to Texas Tech just because of how loaded they are from a roster standpoint. Depending on who they choose at quarterback, that's probably who I'd pick to win the conference. But BYU may be right there.
Oh, they will, because he's already said he's already focused on football already. And everything on the TV, it's like that gentleman looked like a pro and everything when he talked last night, on ESPN last night,
Yeah.
Big time,
I mean, I think that's going to be the biggest difference for a lot of teams is who is going to be quarterbacking some of these teams. I think if you're a Kansas State fan, you got to feel pretty good about that because of, obviously the experience in Avery Johnson that's coming back.
Yeah. And, it's just college football is kind of, and they'll have ACC and SEC media this month too. And, and it's coming. I think one of the conferences this year, they put the Pac-12 back together, Doug, this year, and I wonder which conference is going to go off with a bang when it comes to football this year,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to a lot out of the Pac-12. Honestly, I don't think the teams in the Pac-12 are all that strong. Boise State's in there, which, has obviously had some success, but I don't know. I think the Pac-12 kind of reached on a few teams.
Who do you think is the hardest conference to you?
I personally think it's the Big Ten. Now, I think the Big Ten overtook the SEC. Chuck doesn't agree with me.
No.
Yeah, Chuck, I went to find out one of my record cousins is going to Appalachian State this coming year and everything. She lives in North Carolina. she decided to go to Appalachian State, and their team, Doug, has had in the past history really football really good, in the past history,
They've done a few
and
things.
they have, and and I've had a few coaches graduate from Oklahoma, and that coach is, I think he's going to surprise somebody this year in the next 3 years, and everything. But that SEC, for some reason, they're tough, Doug. I don't care what sport it is, and everything. They are tough. I like to see one of these times Big Ten and SEC play each other, and I think they do that in basketball every year, Doug.
Well, they do. I mean, Ohio State and Texas play each other in week number 2.
Oh, really? Yeah, I meant football, and I think they play a challenge still in basketball too.
Yeah, they do.
And it just, see who's the better conference and stuff. Oh yeah, ESPN's supposed to be there when Ohio State and Texas play, and this time it's not in the shoes. It's back in Texas, and everything. Gentlemen, this week I said watch Major League Baseball this week.
Yeah.
Them Yankees, they couldn't even play last night. Oh my world! Tampa just started spanking them last night.
Yep.
Tampa they've got a tough team, Doug.
Yankees have had some problems here lately.
They have
2-8 in their last 10.
And Tampa, all of a sudden, Tampa just went hot on a hot train, dude. I mean, they got a good coach there, and I mean, smacking it dearly, and everything. I've been watching. I watched 2 baseball games and women's NBA this week. So
Wow, look at you.
And yeah, I watched Diamondbacks on Monday night. I watched New York and then Tampa. I watched the women's NBA after the ball game last night. And getting better. I think, like I told one of my friends, I think when it comes to sports, y'all, I think talent's getting better. They're getting off their butt and picking the teams, But what really shocked me this week was my best player from Milwaukee. He went to Miami, He went to Miami, Doug,
Yeah.
Foreign player, and he went to Miami. Miami signed him and trading, Milwaukee trading and stuff. But he been wanting to trade anyway because he wanted to get out of there and everything. That the Wizards are talking about LeBron James. That's what I'm hearing. But we'll see how it goes.
I'm not keeping up with anything NBA right now, Corey, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I hear you. But I still think Argentina's going to win it, Doug, when it comes to soccer.
Yeah, did they win yesterday? I didn't even look.
Yeah, 3-2.
Okay.
They come back and won that thing against Egypt. I tell my friend I think USA's out of it. I just think Argentina going to win everything this year. Big time. And don't high school football, Doug, start in August or September, usually?
It starts in September. Yeah, it's usually the first Friday of September. Let's see. So probably September the 4th.
We got a month.
This year? Yeah.
The football. We got a month till football starts around our area. But I just think sports, Chuck, is getting better when it comes to our area,
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, I think, this, like where you're from, football out there where you're from, originally from, their sports is getting better too. Valley Center. I think this whole area of Kansas, people are sitting there, recruiters are sitting there watching them.
Yeah. Valley has gotten better over the last few years now. I remember a time when I was in middle school, Valley Center was pretty tough. Coach Smith was still there.
Is he retired now, Chuck, these days?
I don't know if he's still coaching out west or not.
No, I think he's retired.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
You remember who I'm talking about, though,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
you, Doug?
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been here 6 years, gentlemen, and I just think sports getting better, And this whole area going all the way out back to Derby, Mulvaney goes out and wins a national title in baseball this year, And this thing recruiting, that young man from Garden City, Doug, decided to commit to Kansas State,
Yeah?
this year. Yeah, he decided to commit, but, and I'm like, yeah, it's getting better and everything. Thank you, gentlemen, and good morning to you.
All right,
and
appreciate
everything.
it. Thanks, Corey. Appreciate it.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Boy, we went all over the map there with Corey. We went from baseball to high school football to WNBA.
Mike Smith. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, Scott LaCure is their coach now, and he's
Yeah.
doing a nice job.
He is.
He's doing a nice job.
He is.
I think they'll be better this year. I think they were pretty young last year. I'm looking forward to some high school football. We're starting to get more and more things back from the coaches for our high school football guide that we'll be putting together real soon, and we'll have that out sometime, mid to late August for everybody to pick up. And then obviously we start our coverage on both KGSO and KQM every Friday night, statewide scoreboard show after games, Saturday morning sports page with me every Saturday from 8 to 9. So, yeah, looking forward to all that when it comes around here. But we still got a month, Chuck. We still got a month of summer to be able to enjoy a little bit and before we start really diving into some high school football. But going to be some good teams this year. Some really good teams, a lot of good players, a lot of kids to watch for sure this year. There could be some D1 kids coming out of our area, which has been something that's grown over the last several years for sure.
Yeah.
All right, 522-1410 if you want to weigh in this morning. Man, I don't know what's going on with the Royals. So 22 hits the other night against the Phillies. 19 hits last night. And they beat the New York Mets 16-12. This was a game that just went back and forth. New York comes out of the gate strong, get a home run, score 3 runs right in the first. KC comes back with a 2-run homer, top of the second, 3-2. New York adds another home run, scores 2 in the bottom of the second. And it just kind of went back to back like that until Kansas City in the 5th exploded for 5 and then 7 runs in the 7th to win 16-12. Even after committing 3 errors in the game and the Mets had 0, the Royals able to get it done 16-12.
Man.
You had a lot of guys last night. Ewing goes 4 for 4 at the plate. Excuse me, that was for the Mets. Witt gets 1 hit but 2 RBIs. Gets walked once. Thomas 3 hits, goes 3 for 4. Perez 2 for 5. Has 2 RBIs. Cags gets a hit last night. Ends up with a double. Lofton 3 for 5, 2 RBIs. Tolbert 5 for 6 last night. 2 RBIs.
Happy learned how to putt.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. You get 4 innings out of Lugo, gives you 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, gives up 9 hits. They did use a lot of guys in the pen last night, a lot of bullpen guys. But yeah, Ewing for the Mets goes 4 for 4 at the plate, 3 RBIs, 1 home run. It's a pretty good night.
Well, there have been worse nights had in baseball, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. It was one of those games that's kind of. I typically don't like these high scoring games like that, but it was kind of exciting to be honest with you.
You don't like a high scoring baseball game?
No. I love pitchers duels. Yeah. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Morning, Doug.
Hi, Dakota.
What do you think about that Egypt and Argentina game?
Couldn't tell you, buddy. I didn't watch a single second of it.
I think Egypt got kind of screwed on that one goal,
Yeah.
and they and the referee discarded a yellow foul and raced the goal for some reason, stepping on the foot on accident, and they took the goal away.
Yeah, I don't know. My interest in the World Cup is absolutely zero now.
If you want to make some money, France and England in the finals.
That's the bet?
That's what I would say.
Okay.
If it's possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at the odds. Haven't really paid attention.
Okay. Oh, what? Yeah. The Royals game was kind of high last night.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was a fun game to watch. Like I said, I typically don't like high-scoring baseball games. I love pitching duels where pitchers and batters are trying to figure each other out. But that one, there was just a lot of action for sure.
Yeah. And how are they scoring that? So many runs. Like Chicago scored 21 on them some days, and they can't even get a run.
Yeah, the Royals
Sometimes.
have had, 31 hits in 2 games now?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. That's all.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. All
We
right.
do.
522-1410. Actually, 41 hits. My math was wrong. 41 hits in 2 games, Chuck, for the Royals.
Yeesh. That's a lot.
I don't think they had 41 hits in the whole month of June.
Well, you know.
I'm being sarcastic there. I mean, obviously they probably did, but I haven't went and counted them up. But, yeah, it's been absolutely crazy. Did you watch any of the World Cup?
Last night?
Yesterday, yeah.
No.
Yeah, couldn't tell you. It's funny because what I said yesterday on the show, I heard repeated about 5 times, that the interest in the World Cup in the United States just sunk like a rock.
Well, I mean, there's probably some truth to that, but Fox is still going to be fine.
Oh, they'll lose 3/4 of their audience now.
No, they won't. It's global.
Fox and Global? They will lose 3/4 of their audience
Okay.
when it comes to this. Now that the United States and Mexico's out. I see here that FIFA did suspend 2 U.S. officials for the Belgium game. I'm not sure what all happened in that game, but 2 staff members of the United States men's soccer team were suspended by FIFA Monday in the round of 16 against Belgium. FIFA did not explain why it imposed the discipline.
Huh.
And
Well, when are they going to serve it? They're out.
now FIFA has dismissed the officials that made the ruling. I still don't understand how come they play on such a big field and there's only one ref or one official. Like, that's a lot of ground that dude has to cover. Poor girl.
Well,
Be a job for you.
yeah. Get in shape quick.
Yeah, you would. You wouldn't need all that fruit.
Might miss a whole lot, though.
Well, apparently they do too. You wouldn't need all that fruit over there.
Well,
All right, I'm going to go to break so you can finish your breakfast.
I was trying to think of something witty to say, but I didn't. It just, yeah. Probably still need to eat it anyway.
We got some comments from Brett Yormark, a couple of interesting ones.
He got a little spicy with a couple people yesterday.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I don't think he's bringing much to the table for this conference, to be honest with you.
Well,
We'll talk about it more next.
Call the game plan now on the Maximum Outdoor Equipment phone lines at 522-1410.
The game plan. KGSO.
This is The Herd.
You got to be consistent.
With Colin Cowherd.
Mic check.
Walker Kessler, a legitimate defensive big. This is what I've been preaching now since the new Laker owners, Dodger owners came in. It's not about clinging to the past. It's about spending money and looking through the windshield, not the rear view mirror.
This is The Herd.
Weekdays at 11 a.m. right here on KGSO and on the SC Wichita app.
Even the finest jewelry needs repairs sometimes, and Wichita's first choice for full-service jewelry repair is Jewelry Savers. Whether you need ring sizing, stone setting, soldering, or shank repair, Jewelry Savers does it, along with lobster clasps, prong retipping, pearl restringing, chain shortened or lengthened, watch repair, watch batteries, watch bands, engraving, cleaning, polishing, even appraisals. Trust Jewelry Savers by Cabela's at K96 in Greenwich.
Jewelry Savers, we don't want $1 million, just a million friends.
Another country great comes to Newkirk at Seven Clans First Council Casino. See the legendary Neil McCoy, Saturday, September 12th. Neil McCoy in concert at Seven Clans First Council Casino. Tickets are on sale now at sevenclans.com or at the casino box office. Neil McCoy, live at Seven Clans First Council Casino in Newkirk.
A lot of homes built in the 90s still have their original siding and windows. If this is you, then call Burwell Construction at 316-794-3430. New siding and windows can make your house more energy efficient. Burwell Construction has been a trusted name for thousands of homeowners. Call them today, 316-794-3430, and let Burwell Construction give you a free estimate on windows and siding. And Burwell Construction will take care of all your guttering needs. Find them online at burwellconstruction.com.
If it's built well, it's Burwell. Burwell Construction.
America is turning 250, and we're celebrating all month long at Midwest Kia. Join us for our Stars, Stripes, and Savings Sales event, where we're honoring America's 250th birthday with incredible savings throughout July. Celebrate extra savings on every new Kia that's built right here in America, including the award-winning Sportage, Sorento, Telluride, hybrid models, and the electrified EV6 and EV9 models. And no birthday party is complete without a present. This July, purchase any new or pre-owned vehicle and get a $250 gas gift card. It's our way of helping you enjoy the summer road ahead. Plus, every new Kia comes with that unbeatable 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. But hurry, this special Independence Day offer and the $250 gas gift card won't last forever. Visit MidwestKia.com. And remember,
We want to see ya in a Midwest Kia.
see dealer for details. Offer ends July 31st. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty.
Wichita's sports leader, KGSO, is brought to you by Devon James. Devon James Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888.
Your home for the Aftershocks is right here on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Welcome back to the game plan here on this Wednesday morning. Appreciate everybody making us a part of your day. That's why we are the sports leader in Wichita for the past 21 years and still going. It starts with all of you listening to this show. Thank you so much for that. Want to hear from you, 522-1410, or jump up on one of our streaming networks, Facebook, YouTube, X, or Twitch TV. Leave us a message. We'll get to that as well. 522-1410, our Maximum Outdoor Equipment hotlines. Call the show and be a part of it. Big 12 Media Days going on right now down in Frisco, Texas. Our guy Andy Stats is down there. We're going to have him on the show coming up here in the next hour. He'll spend an hour with us talking about Big 12 Media Days. He got down there yesterday a little bit late in the afternoon, and so he kind of missed out on a lot of things yesterday, which wasn't overly a big deal. Arizona State, Baylor, BYU, Central Florida, Colorado, Houston, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, all on the clock. Yesterday, we get Kansas and Kansas State today. We're thinking somewhere around 12:30ish or so is when Kansas will hit the podium, and we will carry both of those press conferences live here on the station. So if you're out and about around the noon hour, be tuning in, and we'll go back-to-back with Kansas and Kansas State in live press conferences today on right here on KGS. So we'll be able to check that out. But Commissioner Brett Yormark yesterday, Chuck, on the podium, and a couple of things that he said that were, I guess, worth listening to and worth noting. Talked about the Big 12 as a conference, just how exciting it is, the fact that it's worldwide. They have 2 out-of-country games this season.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how he opened things up when he was talking about this conference.
The Big 12 aims to be the most globally relevant conference in college athletics. We opened last season in Ireland and will play 2 international games this fall, including TCU opening the season in Dublin and Arizona State and Kansas, competing in the first ever college game at iconic Wembley Stadium. In fact, Fox Big Noon Kickoff will take their show international for the first time and join us at the Union Jack Classic. Wherever Jordan Bazan is, I want to thank him because that's a big deal for this conference. And we thank Fox for their continued support. 14% of our student athletes come from outside the U.S. 6 of our 16 institutions have campuses outside the U.S., including Arizona State's new campus in London, opening this fall. Our brand of football travels. It's fast, it's dynamic, and it's exciting.
I kind of forgot that KU was going to be playing at Wembley this year. It's going to be interesting.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, this is going to be exciting. I'm excited to see Kansas travel over there. These, I think these overseas games for college athletes have been something that they look forward to and they're kind of embracing. Maybe even more so than the NFL guys.
I think they look forward to the experience. I think they realize, though, after it's over, that it takes a toll on them.
Yeah. And
I do think that kind of took a bit of a toll on Kansas State last year.
That's fair.
I mean, that travels a lot. Got to get used to a new time zone, obviously, new food, all kinds of things. And I think if you went back and you asked Kansas State from last year, was it worth doing the Ireland trip? They would probably tell you no, that it wasn't.
No.
KU's going to be interesting this year. I'm looking forward to hearing from Coach Leipold today on the podium. They didn't take any quarterbacks down to Big 12 Media Days. They were one of the very few that didn't. And I think part of it is I don't know that they know exactly who the starter is going to be. I think it's really coming down to Cole Ballard and Isaiah Marshall. Ballard, a young man that was kind of forced into action as a freshman against Kansas State after a couple of injuries, but performed well and has all the talent, a redshirt junior. Isaiah Marshall, very highly touted kid coming out of high school, a redshirt sophomore, kind of been waiting out his time for Daniels to leave, and now maybe has that opportunity. So I think it's going to be interesting to see which direction Coach Leipold goes with those two guys. I think he risks with both of them. Whichever one doesn't get the start, you might risk one or the other transferring out. Yeah, I think both are probably worthy of being starters. I hope it's not a dual quarterback situation.
So do I. I mean, I don't want to see either one of them transfer out. I mean, obviously the best thing for KU would be for both of them to stay there, but at the end of the day, you got to pick your guy. And unfortunately, right now, the way college athletics is, if you pick your guy, then the other one's, like you said, probably going to go, hey, I get it. Peace out. I'm going to go find a place where I can play.
The question about, and I'm going to save the comments from Brett Yormark on the Brendan Sorsby situation for next hour when we have Andy on with us.
Oh wow, those are the best comments.
I know.
He got kind of spicy with one of the reporters from Texas Tech.
Yeah, I know he did, and honestly, I didn't run that particular soundbite off. I ran off the first one when he basically explained to everybody that he wasn't going to discuss it, and then somebody else asked the question, and that's when he got a little spicy.
Well, you knew the question was going to be, if you're Brett Yormark, you can't show up to that conference, that news conference or press conference, and not expect there to be questions about Brendan Sorsby. I mean, come on, man.
I get it. Let's table that when we bring Andy in, okay? And we'll talk more about that in the next hour, because I know he's got some thoughts on it, too. He called me yesterday afternoon after it happened, and he was like, dude, did you hear what Yormark did? I was like, no, and he's like, well, we'll talk about it on the show tomorrow. So I know he's got some thoughts. So let's table all of that part of this until we get to next hour.
All right.
But Brett Yormark did talk about the expansion of the college football playoff and what it means to the conference.
Well, the college football playoff, obviously, is something that's been top of mind for me for quite some time. And we've talked about different formats and how do you expand it or not. And that work really in earnest is starting now. I just returned a few weeks ago from Colorado, where the management committee came together and we started discussing what the possibilities might look like. And as I said in my opening comments, we need more access. I'm a firm believer in that. The Big 12 is a firm believer in that. Where that takes us, I can't tell you today. I don't have a crystal ball. But I want more access. And I think that's the right thing for us to consider. And we're doing the appropriate due diligence right now.
Well, here's how you get more access. You win. If you win, you make the playoffs. So where I get what he is saying there, that and the Big 12 has been slighted a bit when it comes to the college football playoffs and the number of teams that they get in.
A bit.
Okay, but here's the thing. Are you going to take the second or third place Big 12 team over the third or fourth place SEC or Big 10 team based off of the schedules that are played and the week in, week out competition?
Well, the Big 12 has so often been shut out that we don't know. We haven't been able, those games haven't been played.
If the Big 12 has a team that has one loss, they're getting in. If the Big 12 has a team that has 3 losses, they're not.
Yet the SEC will get 3 and 4 loss teams in all day long now.
Can you really compare their week in and week out schedules? That's the question. That's what this is all about. And I've said this from the start. Your strength of schedule is going to matter. And Brett Yormark talked about how important it was for teams to go out and schedule teams from other Power 4 conferences in their non-conference, and the Big 12 teams don't do it.
Neither do the SEC teams. They schedule the biggest patsies of them all.
Texas is playing Ohio State in week 2.
Texas is the outlier.
I mean, that you can go through Big 10 and SEC schedules and see how many of them have got big games on. That's what conference realignment has done. So I understand he wants more access, and I get that. But one, I think your non-conference schedules have to be better, and you got to have teams that are performing and winning. You can't have your best conference team lose to a mid-pack team in your conference. It doesn't work that way for any conference. Maybe the SEC. That's about it.
I mean, Alabama's got East Carolina, Kentucky, and then they schedule that late season patsy game all the time, Chattanooga.
Is that that's probably not on the schedule this year.
Yes.
I thought they got rid of that because they were going to 9 conference games.
November 21, 2026, Chattanooga at Alabama. Yeah, they don't stack the first 3 weeks of the season with non-con. Oh, wait a minute. No, they do. Florida State's not in there.
No, that's an ACC team that's expected to be pretty good.
Okay, so 1.
Well, let's see. You've got week 1, Baylor versus Auburn. What else? Clemson, LSU. Louisville, Ole Miss. That's just in week 1. So you got 3 right now for the SEC. You've got in week 2, Missouri, Kansas, Arizona State, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Michigan, Ohio State, Texas, Tennessee at Georgia Tech. Like, this is what Arkansas at Utah. These are the kind of games that need to be on Big 12 schedules. The Big 12 needs to step out and go play the Big 10, the SEC, the ACC, and their non-con games. If they want more access and they want more teams in, that's what it's going to take for them to get more teams in. Because when you look, we looked at Kansas State's schedule yesterday. Okay, this isn't a knock. I'm not knocking Kansas State, so Wildcat fans don't get mad at me. But that's not a difficult schedule.
Yeah, but I'm not going to sit here and Washington State and Tulane aren't the easiest non-con games either.
Tulane's proven to be pretty good, but, they lost their coach. They lost their quarterback. So once Willie Fritz left and went to Houston, they haven't been the same. And Washington State hadn't been good forever. Mike Leach, when he was still around, kind of had him playing a little bit. Out of the Pac-12. I think when we're thinking as a commissioner of the expansion of the college football playoffs, and the one thing on your mind is we need more access, that's the wrong reason to expand to 24 teams. Because, yes, you can get more access, you can get more teams in. They're not going to win. And those games are not going to be good.
Okay, but you also can't expect your mark to go up there and go, right now we suck compared to so-and-so.
No,
we got to get better.
I wasn't expecting him to get up and dog his conference by no means.
What is he supposed to say in that situation, Doug?
What these and this just didn't Brett Yormark. Greg Sankey's the biggest one out of the SEC. These conference commissioners, yes, their job is to look out for their conferences. I get that. But their job is to also look out for the better of college football. And the better of college football is not expanding the playoffs to 24 teams.
I mean, I don't personally disagree with that part of it, but you can't, like I said, you can't sit there and expect the commissioner to go, well, the Big 12 just, I love this conference. We love what we got going on, but we got to get better at football, otherwise we're never going to be in the playoffs.
Facts are facts, aren't they?
I mean,
would you have a problem if he'd have got up and said, listen, first and foremost, the one thing that all of us conference commissioners need to do when we have discussions is we need to do what's best for our student athletes and for the game of college football. That's got to be our first absolutely thought. Second of all, as a conference in the Big 12, I'm challenging our schools year in and year out to schedule tough non-conference games so we can be played on a national stage against other big-time conferences. And number 2, to continue to improve so we have more access and we get more teams in. Would you really have had a problem with him saying something like that? Instead of saying, well, we want more access. That was the part that bothered me on his remarks. Because basically what you're saying is the same. And look, it's not just him. I think the Big Ten's the same way because their conference commissioner's pushing for this 24-team playoff. Yes, you want as many teams as you can be in the playoffs. But what's going to happen if you show up and your third-place team in your conference shows up and they get waxed 45-3 in the first game? That's not going to be a good look.
No, it's not.
Then everybody's going to go, see, I told you the Big 12 wasn't that strong.
Yeah. That's going to happen to any third or fourth place team in the conference, though.
Maybe.
The way that college football, there's a big separation between 1 and 25 in the rankings.
which is
a
why
very big separation.
Which is why we don't need a 24-team playoff.
And that part I agree with.
I think a 24-team playoff in college football is more ridiculous than expanding the basketball tournament to 76.
I think both of them, both cases are ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I don't like either one, but there's nothing. Everybody comes down on the bowl games anymore. There's nothing wrong with going to a bowl game. There's nothing wrong with it. You get an extra couple of weeks or a few weeks of practice. You get some young guys some more experience. You give your student athletes a great experience of being able to go somewhere and play. There's nothing wrong with going to a bowl game and playing. Back after this.
This portion of the game plan brought to you by Southwestern Remodeling, Wichita's full-line remodeler since 1970. See our project galleries at southwesternremodeling.com.
The game plan. KGSO.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
And it is Jason Tatum and friends. What kind of pressure's on him right now in B-Town?
I think just the normal pressures that he's always had. Even when he didn't win the Finals MVP, if you want to just be honest, go look at the numbers. Who led in every statistical category? It was Jason Tatum.
This is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Evenings on KGSO. And find KGSO on the SC Wichita app.
Are you looking for a better healthcare experience this summer? Kingman Healthcare Center is a full-service hospital with a 24/7 emergency room with little to no wait times. Our clinics offer same-day appointments and convenient scheduling for your annual checkups. Don't wait. Make your health a top priority and schedule your appointment today. You won't regret the short drive without the big city traffic. Exceptional care every time. To learn more, visit our website, kingmanhc.com. America is turning 250, and we're celebrating all month long at Midwest Kia. Join us for our Stars, Stripes, and Savings Sales event, where we're honoring America's 250th birthday with incredible savings throughout July. Celebrate extra savings on every new Kia that's built right here in America, including the award-winning Sportage, Sorento, Telluride, hybrid models, and the electrified EV6 and EV9 models. And no birthday party is complete without a present. This July, purchase any new or pre-owned vehicle and get a $250 gas gift card. It's our way of helping you enjoy the summer road ahead. Plus, every new Kia comes with that unbeatable 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. But hurry, this special Independence Day offer and the $250 gas gift card won't last forever. Visit MidwestKia.com. And remember,
We want to see ya in a Midwest Kia.
see dealer for details. Offer ends July 31st. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. Hog Wild, get some for you.
Asking my favorite Hog Wild menu item would be like asking who is your favorite child. It's impossible. While I love all of our award-winning barbecue options, I've got a real soft spot for the Carolina pulled pork sandwich. Hi, I'm Josh Wissing, Hog Wild partner and general manager at 47th and South Broadway. I love turning customers onto the Carolina pulled pork sandwich. We serve our tender, slow-smoked pulled pork on a soft bun and pile it high with tangy coleslaw. There's nothing else on the menu like it. The added bonus, you still get to have a side dish like curly fries or baked beans. When you're craving familiar, but in the mood for something new, Hog Wild's Carolina pulled pork sandwich is the answer.
Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 6 locations in Wichita, also in Derby, El Dorado, Hutchinson, and Salina.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. Hog Wild, get some for you. But don't be late, we close at 8.
We aren't like other stations. We're the best. This is Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Hey, this portion of the show brought to you by English Rental and Trash Service. If you Own a business or just at your home and you're looking for better service at a better price, you need English Rentals and Trash. You find them online at english-rentals.com, english-rentals.com. Jump up on their website. Check out all their services that they have to offer. Check out the areas that they offer those services. Then pick up the phone and give them a call and find out how you can get better service and pay less money. We all want that, right? Well, it is available now with a great local company in English Rentals and Trash Service. Again, english-rentals.com. Make sure you tell them that you heard about them right here on the Game Plan and KGSO. 522-1410, our Maximum Outdoor Equipment hotlines. We want your phone calls this morning. One more quick comment here from your Mark on just the conference itself. And this is kind of what I was talking about with the Big 12. Like, it is a great football conference. It's fun to watch. They put guys in the NFL. They have a lot of athletes that compete at a very high level. They've obviously had big-time draft picks this year in the NBA. And your Mark kind of talked a little bit about the conference and how exciting it can be. And that's where I want him to go more with his messaging, other than just saying, well, if we expand, we get more access. Because I think you take away from all of the highlights that he spoke about earlier in the press conference when it comes to the Big 12. Here's what he had to say.
In the country last year, with more late game drama than any other conference, and the metrics show that. Our championship game drew more than 85,000 fans, the most attended in Power 4 history, with game viewership up 39%. We had a conference record 38 NFL draft selections, including 11 in the first 2 rounds. And while football is a powerful driver, I'm incredibly proud of what our student athletes, coaches, and administrators have accomplished across all of our sports.
I mean, look, you got 11 first and second round draft picks coming out of the conference. And this is where I think the Big 12 needs to get better. You got one team in the SEC or the Big 10 that puts that many guys in. And that's where the conference has to get better. That's where they have to compete more. And probably in the NIL range is being able to get these potential pro players to come to the Big 12 over the SEC and the Big 10.
How do you do that?
You pay them. That's how.
I mean,
that's how you do it.
So you do the one thing that we're all sitting here cussing about being done.
You do the one thing that has to be done. That's really what it boils down to. Now, I do applaud the Big 12 for this. I do think out of all the football conferences, the Big 12 is still very much a conference that is about developing players. Good players that come out of high school, or even players that maybe weren't on somebody's radar. But if you want more teams in the college football playoffs, you got to get those players. I guess we'll find out, right? We got Texas Tech that's paying everybody, so we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out there.
Unfortunately for them, their quarterback situation could keep them from reaching the ultimate goal, depending on who they go with.
Yeah, it's that deal's a mess right now. But I mean, we talked about the Sorsby deal, ad nauseum, and I know we're going to talk more about it here in the second hour. But at the end of the day, we all said we were glad that that's the way things turned out, right? Like, nobody really wanted Sorsby to be able to play.
Oh, I think I don't care if it's the Big 12, the SEC, the Big 10, or whoever. I mean, I think that situation turned out the right way.
That's what I'm saying.
In the way it was.
So, hopefully Tech's got a hidden gem on their roster that nobody knows about. We'll have to see.
I think the Big 12 overall is going to be very interesting to watch this year because you've got a lot of new coaches in this conference.
Yeah.
And you've got, programs like Iowa State, who's been up there over the last decade, with a new coach. You got Utah that made a change for the first time in, 27 years when Kyle Whittingham left and went to Michigan. So you've got a lot of new faces in the Big 12. It'll be interesting over the next couple of years to see how those new faces go out and find new talent. You got to change at Kansas State, obviously, with Colin Klein, who was used to recruiting in the SEC down at Texas A&M. Where does that go in the next couple of seasons? So I think the Big 12 has really good growth opportunities. Very much so.
Yeah.
And these new coaches are going to bring new ideas, new everything with them.
Well, just the one thing that I don't want the Big 12 to do is get stagnant in any regard.
And that's what.
And that's the one thing that I don't think Yormark's going to let happen. Like, you might not have been impressed with his comments, but I peg him as a guy that he's not going to let things just get stagnant.
Look, it's not that I wasn't impressed with his comments. I think that he said some really good things during this press conference. It was that one thing that I was just kind of like, man, I don't know if that's really the right message to send out, is we want football to expand just so we can have more access. Like, from a football fan, I want my commissioner to say, hey, look, I realize our conference needs to continue to grow and get better, and I'm challenging our teams all the time to do that. But at the same time, we feel like we can compete with anybody.
But I don't necessarily think he. I don't know.
I think when I heard it, I took it wrong.
Yeah, I think maybe you're taking his comment out of context just a little bit there. I don't think he's saying that. I don't think he believes that the only way the Big 12 is going to get access to the college football playoff is strictly if it expands. I think what he's saying is
that's kind of the way it came across, though.
Okay. I can agree with you that maybe it wasn't worded right, but everybody's going to have more access to the college football playoff with the expansion. So that's not unique to the Big 12. I think I know you did.
I said that about the Big Ten commissioner, Teddy. I said the same thing. He's made similar remarks.
I get it. Let me finish where I'm going here is with the expansion, I think he wants his teams. He understands that everybody's naturally going to have more access. And with that access, I think he wants and hopes that the Big 12 uses that to continue building to be better and eventually get to the top of the heap. I think that's probably where he was, maybe kind of trying to go with those comments.
And I'll admit, I haven't been a big fan of Yormark. I really haven't. And partly is because, but this is just college sports now, and I probably need to get over this. He didn't come as a college athlete guy. He came from the entertainment industry. And I don't want to see conferences just be built because of entertainment. I want to see the competition, the competitiveness. We'll talk more with Andy Stats live from Frisco next.
Your latest news on KGSO.
From the news desk, I'm Andy Hoosier. We are just over a month away from the official begin of the fall school semester in 2026 as the Wichita Public School District yesterday announced their official open online enrollment for students in grades 1 through 12 for the upcoming 2026 and 27 school year. KSN News reports that outside of the online enrollment, that in-person enrollment will take place from noon to 7 p.m. starting on Monday, July 27th and Tuesday, July 28th. Officials with the public school also remind individuals that kindergartners will need to enroll in person so they can take their ages and stages questionnaire. Also, for families that may speak other languages other than English, enrollment in person will take place on Thursday and Monday between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. at the District Administrative Center. In other news, former Wichita police officer made his first appearance in court yesterday in connection to the crash that happened back in April, injuring 4 individuals, as Jace Bennett has been charged with 4 counts of aggravated battery for the crash that happened back on April 18th.
The news on KGSO is brought to you by Truck Stuff. Whether it's your camper, trailer, or boat that need hauling, Truck Stuff has you covered. Online at truckstuffks.com or call 316-264-1908.
Big 12 Media Days are underway down in Frisco.
this is said and done, I'm sure there will be an opportunity for people to ask questions and for that situation to be talked about. But unfortunately, even though this is quote unquote Big 12 Media Days, now is not that time because he physically cannot do it. And so I'm okay with him coming out and saying that. And then when the reporter pushes the issue and, like Doug says, tries to back him into a corner, Sorsby, Yormark pretty well go and look like, hey, dude, you're not going to misquote me here. You're not going to put me in a corner. This is what I said, and we're moving on.
Yeah, the only thing about Yormark's rebuttal to that second question we heard is even before, if you go back in the audio before that answer he gave to that reporter, the question was asked the first time, and Yormark actually stood up, left the podium, and went and told the guy to stand up and ask his question on that side of the stage. So, again, as Doug said, I don't know if either party there was in the right, but I'll tell you this about what Chuck just mentioned on, he's hogtied legally, and he can only say so much right now. There was certainly an atmosphere going into this, and even though Texas Tech was yesterday, they're not even here today, it certainly seems to be persisting that it's the Texas Tech media that are here for answers, right? They're going to be loud and proud that they're backing that school in Lubbock. They're the favorites to win the conference again, even without Brendan Sorsby on their team. And they want to make some noise, right? They want to let the conference commissioner and everybody else here that contributes to the day-to-day operations of the Big 12, how they feel about how they have been treated. And we're certainly probably going to see that again today once or twice. I'd be shocked if the topic of Sorsby or something with the Red Raiders doesn't come up once again.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, look, it probably is going to come up, and maybe in day two there's going to be media members there that, I don't know, were sleeping under a rock or something and didn't hear any of Yormark's comments from yesterday, and they're going to ask it again. But the good news is he's not going to be up on the stage, so it'd be more on a one-on-one situation if they get that opportunity. Let's get to the phones real quick. Good morning, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I'm going to come at it at a different angle. I get on the radio station and I start complaining about my company. Or you get on the radio and you start complaining about KGSO.
Just about that damn morning show. That's the only thing I complain about.
Well, I personally think that's what this dumbass reporter did. I get it. Everybody gets it. But don't hurt your own league. Shut up about it. Let it blow over. Let the courts and the lawyers do their thing. But every time you bring it up, it gives the Big Ten, the SEC, the AC, whatever, gives them all a little bit of firepower to cut our league. Shut up. Somebody ought to slap that guy up the side of the head with a football.
Well,
I mean, everybody knows the guy confessed that he did it. Okay, so why keep bringing it up?
I mean, look, I know that they're mad because they came after Texas Tech, but not Cincinnati, and he actually did most of the gambling when he was at Cincinnati, and even before he got to Cincinnati. So I get it. Tech's mad about that, and their fan base and their reporters are mad about it. But to kind of bring it, and Andy, to your point, yes, he did ask the question earlier, and Yormark left the podium and went over to his side of the stage. But, again, the reporter, one of the only ones that's sitting down to ask a question, everybody else stood up. He was clear across the room, and you know how big that room is from Yormark. So Yormark left, went to his side of the stage and said, can you please stand up and ask me again? Like, as a member of the media, it's your obligation to show a little respect. You may not always agree with the answers that you get.
I totally agree.
But it's your obligation to show some respect.
You're in the Big 12 media.
Right.
You're not in the SEC or you're in the Big 12. Shut up. We get it. We get what the kid did. But, they need to let it go. It's their own guy. It's their own media keeps bringing it up. For what?
Yeah.
How's that question going to solve anything?
All right, Rick. Appreciate it.
See you.
See you, buddy. All right, 522-1410. I want to move on here a little bit because I want to talk about today. So Kansas and Kansas State on the clock today. What did you say, Andy, about 12:40? Is that when KU's supposed to take the stage?
Yes. So first, we're going to have both the head coaches take the stage in the press conference. It's going to be Kansas State head coach Colin Klein at 12:20, be about 15 minutes up there, and then directly following him will be Lance Leipold for the Jayhawks at 12:40.
Okay, all right. They got it backwards on their page. They actually have Kansas going first, but.
I will double check that. I was handed a schedule today. I'm looking at the one I was emailed, but let me pull out of my nifty gift bag. They actually gave me a pretty nice gift bag full of things I'm looking at right now. There's some jerky in there. There's a Monster Energy hat. We can talk about the big-time Monster Energy sponsorship with the team this year, and we'll get to that at some point. The schedule does say Kansas State 12:20, Kansas 12:40, head coaches on the main stage, and of course we're going to try and bring you some one-on-one interviews with some players, both head coaches if we can get it, and whoever else wants to talk to me.
So our goal is to run both those press conferences live today on the station so folks can hear them as they go on, and then you will do some one-on-one stuff that we're going to have to record a lot of it, but we'll be able to play it back later on this afternoon when you're on with the Press Box guys as well. So looking forward to all the coverage that's going on down there. What is there one thing that's kind of stuck out so far that you've just kind of went, wow, this is kind of crazy how amazing this is?
Just about the media days, about the facility, or anything really?
Anything that's really just kind of crossed your mind.
I always think it's a special moment when an entire conference can come together and you get to meet people from all different walks of life who are at one of these schools. They've either been there 40 years or maybe 4 months, or like me, you started covering Kansas sports about 3 months ago. But the thing that unites everybody here is the passion for the sport that we're covering, is the passion for the conference that invited us to be here to cover this sport. And I don't know, the opportunity to get to meet all of these different folks from all over the country, and we all get to have our moment in the shine. You know, we all get to grab the microphone and ask a question to whoever's up at the podium, and we get our little moment on ESPN, I guess. I can't lie, I'm still a little starstruck from being in here, no pun intended, with the big Dallas Cowboys star at midfield, but I'm having a ton of fun, and I'm hoping I can provide some great coverage to the people back up there in Wichita.
Well, all right. No Buckeyes gear while you're there.
I have a gray plain quarter zip on, black pants, and a pair of gray Jordans. I promise you, I am very much neutral in this battle.
Okay, well, listen, we got a couple of questions here. We're going to have to get to break because we actually have Wichita State Athletic Director Kevin Saul scheduled to be on with us next. You're more than welcome to stay on if you want to talk to Kevin as well and ask him a couple of questions. Then that's fine. We'll get back to some more coverage with you a little bit later on the hour about Big 12 Media Days. But we do have a couple of questions. First of all, Derek, the no volume on Facebook, totally operator error, my fault. Sorry about that. Thanks for letting me know. Devin wants to know this, and we'll let you kind of think about this, and you can answer it when we come back. How does it feel to be a Big Ten guy coming to report on the Big 12? What's the difference or the big difference you think between the two conferences? So there you go. There's a question for you,
Good
Andy,
question.
to think about. Oh, and he also wants to know, do you love LeBron? If you answer yes, then you can't come back on the show because MJ way better than LeBron.
Doug, we were getting along so well before this.
That's just facts, man. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
All right. Kevin Saul, Wichita State Athletic Director. He joins the show next here. You're good to catch up with Kevin. Been a while since we've had him on. Back after this.
This segment of the game plan is brought to you by Moneytown Pawn on Oliver, just south of Pawnee. Tools, electronics, firearms, jewelry, and more. Find what you need at Moneytown Pawn.
The game plan. KGSO.
This is Stu Gatz and Company live.
The audience wants this.
You're listening to Stu Gatz and Company live.
Izzy, I am so confused. The United States appears to finally be good at soccer, and I have no idea what the Celtics were thinking by trading Jaylen Brown to a team they just lost to and making the Sixers a better team than the Boston Celtics. So confused.
Stu Gatz and Company live.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. on KGSO and on the SC Wichita app.
Are you looking for a better healthcare experience? Look no further. Kingman Healthcare Center is a full-service hospital and 24/7 emergency room with little to no wait times. Kingman Healthcare Center was recently named a Top 20 Critical Access Hospital by the Chartis Center for Rural Health. Top 20 in the entire nation. Come see for yourself what all the celebration is about. Exceptional care every time. To learn more, visit our website at kingmanhc.com.
It's towing season, so that means it's time to come see the experts at Truck Stuff. Whether you're needing a hitch, a gooseneck or bumper pull, a brake controller, or airbags to level the ride, we've got you covered. We'll guide you on what suits your vehicle best so that you can have a safe and enjoyable trip. Whether you want to install it yourself or have our professional installers do it here, we thank you for shopping local at Truck Stuff at their corner of Central and Washington.
Tricked out, decked out, check us out. Truck Stuff.
Professional excavators and homeowners, safety always comes first, and safe digging is no accident. So before you begin your next digging project, remember to call Kansas 811 to have your underground utility lines marked for free. Know what's below. Call 811 before you dig. So play it safe. Put down the shovel, pick up the phone, and call 811 first. This message is brought to you by Kansas 811, reminding you that no matter if your digging project is big or small, don't make a judgment call. Always call 811 before you dig.
Wichita Wind Surge Baseball is back at Equity Bank Park. Bring your friends, bring the family, and enjoy an exciting night of baseball right here in Wichita. From big hits to family-friendly promotions and special theme nights, there's always something happening at the ballpark. For the full schedule of upcoming events, follow us on Facebook at Wichita Wind Surge or visit us online at windsurge.com. Wichita Wind Surge Baseball. Don't miss the action at Equity Bank Park.
When it comes to great barbecue in Wichita, one name stands above the rest, B&C Barbecue. For years, B&C Barbecue has been serving up mouth-watering smoked meat and hometown flavor that keeps customers coming back. But next time you're in, don't stop at the barbecue. Grab a menu and try their juicy pork chops,
tender prime rib,
delicious smash burgers, and so much more. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or catering for your next event, B&C Barbecue has something for everyone. Visit B&C Barbecue at 3rd and Washington and taste why Wichita keeps coming back for more.
Looking for a new-to-you ride? For over 70 years, customers have trusted Rusty Egg Ford with quality vehicles and exceptional service. We have 500 used cars available with 150 Ford Blue Advantage certified. From fuel-efficient cars to tough trucks and versatile SUVs, you'll find quality, value, and selection all in one place. That's peace of mind with every mile. Buy with confidence at Rusty Egg Ford. Visit rustyeggford.com. Family owned and simply the best place to buy. See dealer for details.
Wichita's sports leader, KGSO, is brought to you by Devon James. Devon James Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888.
What did you listen to today? This is Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Welcome back into the show here on this Wednesday morning. Appreciate everybody listening to the game plan. Thanks for making us a part of your day. To the Maximum Outdoor Equipment Hotlines we go. We find our friend Kevin Saw, athletic director at Wichita State. Kevin, how's your summer been?
Great. How are you doing, Doug?
Doing
Thanks
good.
for having us on the show.
Yeah, sorry we missed each other last time. That was totally my fault. My schedule got all messed up, and I just forgot to give you a call last time. So it's been a while that we've had a chance to chat. Looking forward to catching up with you here.
It's all good.
Summertime over there at the university, people probably think, what's Kevin got to do? Like, go on vacation all summer. There's nothing else going on. There's actually quite a bit happening during the summer months.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. We've got, I think, close to $100 million in capital construction and projects associated with athletics. You got the west side of Crossland Stadium that's getting demoed right now, which has been a very interesting process. Those guys have done a nice job there. And we've got Wilkins Stadium team operations building that's going up. And then we're getting ready to start the Ignite K96 tennis facility, that $18 million tennis facility over there will be the new home for men's and women's tennis at Wichita State. And then you've got some other smaller projects that we've either completed or are working on, whether that's at Eck or with our bowling team. So that piece has been really busy. The onboarding of new student athletes is busy. You're about 4 weeks away from having new student athlete orientations and getting a bunch of folks back on campus. Men's and women's basketball have been on campus here for the better part of the last month through their summer access programming, taking classes, getting in the weight room, and getting ready. So it's been a full summer for sure.
You know what I really enjoyed? So our guys yesterday afternoon on the press box that do our afternoon show from 4 to 6, they played some sound bites. Paul Salentrop does a good job. He's got a podcast, Shocker Podcast, and he recently interviewed a lot of the basketball players and a lot of the new players. But what I really enjoyed hearing out of a lot of those guys in those interviews he did that they played yesterday was the fact of just how much they talked about how much they loved the campus when they came to visit, and you know how welcoming everybody was, and even the community. And that's what makes Wichita State so strong.
Yeah, there's no question. I think the innovation campus, the construction that's going on around campus really speaks to the forward movement and progress the university is making. I think you can say the same on the athletic side. And so when the young people are coming to our campus without maybe knowing what to expect, more often than not, they're very pleasantly surprised about just the progress and, you know, the philosophy and the alignment of leadership and all those things, and the athletic facilities and the coaching staff. And we've got a lot to offer at Wichita State for sure.
There's no doubt. We're looking forward to TBT coming back to Charles Koch Arena, and hopefully we pack some things out. I thought Sasha made a really good point the other day when we were talking about that. You know, we've celebrated and we've talked about the fact that the Aftershocks won the tournament last year, and they had 9,000 some in the Roundhouse. And Sasha made the point. He said, look, I'm not bashing on the TBT. We think this is a great organization. We're going to broadcast the Aftershock games here on KGSO. But what I really want people to know, and this is Sasha's words, is if we can put 9,500 in for an alumni team, we should be able to put that many in for the current basketball team and show that kind of support. And I thought that was a really good point.
Well, it's a great point, and I think it's a point that's been made here the last several years. The reality of it is, Doug, is we've got to do our part as well. And you and I have talked at length about that, about putting a product on the floor that has a chance to go win the championship. And the TBT group has done a nice job of putting together a talented group on the floor that resonates with our fan base. And last year made an incredible run to win a championship. First game, I think the attendance was about 1,200, and the last game was about 9,200. You know, we saw some similar trending in our basketball attendance last year as well. There were games where we were consistently in the fives, but we got up into the eights and started pushing nines towards the end of last year's 24-win season. You've got 10 of these 15 guys coming back, Doug. Season ticket sales have gone well. And I think we're up just past another 200 new season tickets sold on top of last year's 600 sold. We expect to renew well above 90%. So it's coming around, but I do think it's a combination of you've got to capture the intrigue and you got to put a good product on the floor.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. And I think, you know, Wichita State's got a lot to look forward to this year. Not only some of the returning players, but you know, our guys on the afternoon show played some sound bites from some of the new players coming into the program that I think Paul Salentrop was recently interviewed some of those guys. And it seems to me like the coaching staff did a really, really good job of being able to relate to these guys what the best parts of their game was, and being able to, you know, bring in the recruits that they wanted. A lot of these new guys seem like they were really, really impressed with the coaching staff of Wichita State's program. And you got to believe that the same things that helped bring these new guys in or what helped keep some of the current guys in the program. I really have high hopes that means this team's going to be able to mesh really, really well, that this coaching staff is building a team from different pieces that are going to be able to play together and be successful. I think there's a lot to look forward to with this team. What would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I shared at a fundraising event a couple of weeks ago, just recalled back to the conversations that Coach Mills and I had during the hiring process. And there was a lot of conversation first and foremost, but the things that resonate with me now is the thought process that, for each of his 6 years at Oral Roberts, the win total increased every single year, either overall or within league or both. And the same has held true here at Wichita State. And then I do recall having extensive conversations about rosters and recruiting, what his process was, how he vetted in a very condensed and compressed period of time the character and integrity of young people. And look, he will tell you the same thing, and I would echo it. We're not going to be perfect. We're not going to bat 1,000, but at the end of the day, I do think that Coach Mills and his staff have a unique ability to evaluate not only the basketball talent, but the character and integrity of young men. And you start to see that in the summer when they spend time here. And we're trying to promote and highlight and endear those guys to our fan base. But it really starts with Will Berg and TJ and Dylan all saying that they want to come back in, I think that was early April, guys. And then you have a bunch of other guys follow suit. So you've got 10 of 15 guys coming back. And then you've got a really good group that's coming in from Bryce Hurd to Jordan Frism to Sear. Malonga. I think it's a good group, and they're good young men, and Coach Mills and his staff's ability to evaluate good people and good basketball players continues to pay dividends for Wichita State, and I think there's a lot to be excited about.
Kevin, we got a real good young talent that works for us out in Garden City. His name's Andy Statz, and he's down in Frisco right now covering the Big 12 Media Days for their football conference media days, and I'm going to bring him into this conversation as well in case he has a question he wants to ask you. But I'm kind of curious on just your thoughts on this. So we heard Brett Yormark from the Big 12 yesterday when they were talking to him about the expansion of the college football playoffs. He said something that maybe I interpreted his words wrong. I just didn't really like the answer. One of the things that he said is that we're in support of anything that gives the Big 12 more access. And I guess where maybe I took that wrong is I don't want our commissioners to look at expansion as, well, now our teams maybe be able to compete and get into the playoffs. Like, I want these guys to look at what's best for the game, what's best for their student athletes, and how they need to be more competitive. The basketball conference is expanded to 76. First of all, was that something that you and a lot of the other athletic directors were on board with? And second question is, has that made an impact on any of the young people? Have young people that you've recruited talked about the fact that there's an expansion and now it gives more opportunity?
Yeah, I think access to championships has always been, a top 5 subject matter within the NCAA and all the various committees and the member institutions. Access to championships is incredibly important. That's why we do what we do. Sitting on the softball selection committee, having been a part of a on-campus support committee for a member that was on the men's basketball selection committee, those spots are incredibly coveted. And so when you talk about whether it's a college football playoff expansion or women's basketball tournament expansion, you certainly want to understand what the evaluative process is going to look like in terms of selecting teams to get in there. Is it still going to be based on your resume? You guys understand that with college football playoffs, it's a little bit different. You get some automatic selections for the various leagues, and there are differences of opinion amongst the Big Ten and the SEC and the other leagues about who the best teams are and what leagues should have guaranteed access into those championships. And the opposing leagues that have a different mindset obviously feel different about that. So while I will not speak for myself, I would imagine that Commissioner Yormark is concerned about making sure that those additional slots would be freely accessible and not restricted to a specific league. And so you see the same thing when the men's basketball tournament expands to 76. You want to make sure that those are free access because, we had a team last year, guys, that, was knocking on the door. Obviously, you win the conference tournament championship, you're already in. So there's 32 conferences, 32 automatic qualifiers, so one per league, and then you've got all your at-larges, and they go fast. You guys know that. So I'm in favor of a 76, provided that those additional slots are going to go to the best teams that are available that can make a nice run in the tournament. And again, guys, that's all metrically decided. There is the eye test. There's all those components. But at the end of the day, when you're looking at 8 slots for 16 different teams, you're having to evaluate all of the priorities and the metrics and the components that the committee is charged with to get down to a selection of 8 out of 16 teams.
But a conference like the American that is not part of the, quote unquote Power Four, do you feel like, does it put more pressure on especially scheduling when it comes to non-con, that you go out and you schedule even bigger and better teams so you can prove that you belong to play in this tournament, or you belong to play against the Power Four conferences?
That is a big piece of it, right? Top 25 wins in softball or baseball, top 50 wins softball or baseball. The quad system in men's and women's basketball, quad ones, quad twos, quad threes, and quad fours. You got to maximize your quad ones and twos. It's got scheduling is a part of it, Doug. And you and I've had this conversation before, and you know this, that scheduling is only one element of it. You actually have to win the games. You can't go out and schedule 6 or 8 quad one games, lose them all, and expect to get to the NCAA tournament. So it's got to be a combination of scheduling and competitive success. But as a committee member that sits in the room, you think twice about a team that might have, let's just say, a softball team that might have 50 wins, which is a ridiculous number, but their non-conference strength of schedule sits at 200 or worse. You have to take all of those pieces into account. So it is a balance between scheduling and winning.
How does a team like Wichita State go out and get those types of games, those marquee non-con games on their schedule, though, when there have been schools in the past, and I'm sorry, I'll pick on KU and Bill Self, where he's flat out openly said, and he's not the only one, there's other schools like it, but using him as an example, he's flat out said in the past, look, we have nothing to gain by scheduling Wichita State. If we beat them, that's what we were supposed to do. And if we lose to them, that only serves to hurt us. Like, how does Wichita State mitigate things like that and get those marquee games on their schedule that can really help boost their overall score?
Yeah, I could tell you from personal experience how you mitigate that. Is I called Travis up when about 6 months after I got the job here, and I said Travis would like to go meet for lunch in Lawrence. So I drove up to see him, and I forget the restaurant we met at, and we made pleasant small talk and had good conversation about our families and our path in athletics. And I said, look, Travis, you know why we're here. We want to play the Jayhawks. And he took it sincere and genuine, and he liked what we proposed. And ironically, Coach Self and his staff walked into the restaurant about halfway through our lunch and looked at us and knew exactly what we were talking about. But that next basketball season, we played KU in Kansas City. So this was, 2 years ago?
Right.
For the first time in 32 years. So you've got to find creative ways to do it. I think when it's all said and done and you guys look at the entirety of our schedule this season, you're going to take a step back and you might say, wow, in terms of our ability to get quad one and quad two teams on this particular year's schedule. And you've got to get creative. You have to be willing to go on the road. You have to be willing to play in neutral sites. But there is a pathway to do that. And again, as I just mentioned on Doug's question, it's a combination of scheduling and winning. You got to win some of those.
Yeah, there's no doubt you have to win them, because if you don't, then it's just kind of like, see, I told you so. And that's not any kind of situation that you want to be in for sure.
Sure. And I get that. It just seems like sometimes schools, especially like Wichita State, that are on the cusp at times of, being that program to break out and make noise on the national scene, like we once did with Coach Marshall. And I think we can be capable of the same thing with Coach Mills. It seems like that's when big schools start to shy away from playing schools like Wichita State. And I don't agree with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are conversations that happen between basketball offices and AD offices, right? The ADs are concerned about getting great home schedules and providing immense value for a season ticket. And basketball coaches, sometimes, we do not have one of these coaches, but sometimes coaches coach to keep their job and not necessarily coach to make the NCAA tournament as well. And so you got to try and navigate that as an administrator and understand the importance of doing that. Excuse me, guys. And then we're having a very, very good conversation within our league. I sit on a basketball basically evaluation committee. We're having extensive conversations about how we elevate scheduling strength overall throughout the league and what is the league's role in ensuring that the scheduling metrics and priorities that we have as a league consistently get adhered to year in and year out. So, again, there's always going to be that tension between the coach that wants to schedule to keep the job versus scheduling to make an NCAA tournament.
All right, real quick, because we got to go. But, Andy, you're in Frisco. You got anything for Kevin? By the way, Kevin, Kevin. Kevin's the athletic director at Wichita State. Andy does a show for us with our station KIUL out in Garden City.
It's my first time in Wichita and getting to talk to somebody that's so high up in the Shockers, I almost don't even know what to say. Hi there.
Andy, how you doing this morning? I hope you guys are having a good time in Frisco, and certainly look forward to catching up with you down the road for sure.
Absolutely. I come from Ohio, where it's all about mid-major madness up there. So Wichita State is a team I'd love to cover one day. I want to get down there to the arena and see what's going on because, I mean, come on, it's the Shockers, baby. What are we doing?
Yeah, exactly. Doug's got my cell number, so he can share it with you. You come to town, and we'll show you around all our facilities and walk you around the department, have you meet some folks. But I think that is a good segue, guys. The NCAA men's basketball selection and oversight committee is meeting here the last 3 days, and we expect on their agenda is selection of the second preliminary round site, opening round site. As you mentioned, Doug, we expanded to 76. Dayton, Ohio, as you're familiar with, Andy, obviously has hosted that for the better part of 11 or 12 years, and we've put in a really solid bid. So our fingers are crossed that Wichita could become that second opening round site.
No doubt. All right, Kevin, thanks for your time, man. Have a good week.
All right, take care, guys. Thanks for having us on the show, and go Shockers.
Call the game plan now on the Maximum Outdoor Equipment phone lines at 522-1410.
The game plan. KGSO.
Want to hear more of KGSO? Don't forget to download our app today. Fill out weekly surveys, register to win great prizes, listen live, message our shows, and so much more. Plus, get reminders of special programming and games you don't want to miss. Just find SC Wichita in your app store and make KGSO your new favorite app. It's Wichita's Sports Talk, right on your phone. Download the SC Wichita app today with Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Wichita Wind Surge Baseball is back at Equity Bank Park. Bring your friends, bring the family, and enjoy an exciting night of baseball right here in Wichita. From big hits to family-friendly promotions and special theme nights, there's always something happening at the ballpark. For the full schedule of upcoming events, follow us on Facebook at Wichita Wind Surge or visit us online at windsurge.com. Wichita Wind Surge Baseball. Don't miss the action at Equity Bank Park.
America is turning 250, and we're celebrating all month long at Midwest Kia. Join us for our Stars, Stripes, and Savings Sales event, where we're honoring America's 250th birthday with incredible savings throughout July. Celebrate extra savings on every new Kia that's built right here in America, including the award-winning Sportage, Sorento, Telluride, hybrid models, and the electrified EV6 and EV9 models. And no birthday party is complete without a present. This July, purchase any new or pre-owned vehicle and get a $250 gas gift card. It's our way of helping you enjoy the summer road ahead. Plus, every new Kia comes with that unbeatable 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. But hurry, this special Independence Day offer and the $250 gas gift card won't last forever. Visit MidwestKia.com. And remember,
We want to see ya in a Midwest Kia.
see dealer for details. Offer ends July 31st. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty.
For over 55 years and 2 generations, the Southwestern Remodeling Professionals have been providing homeowners in the Wichita area with a truly unique luxury remodeling experience. From the initial consultation through project design and production, our team provides concierge-style service with a true focus on the best quality products and professional installation. Are you ready to experience something truly different? Give us a call today at 263-1239 or visit southwesternremodeling.com.
Where'd you get that grin right above your chin? You know the place puts a smile on your face. Andy's the one for frozen custard fun, made fresh every hour. It's your happy power. Top your day with a smile at Andy's.
Did you know my frozen custard is made fresh every hour? Or that our toppings are baked daily right in our stores? It's how we top your day with a smile at Andy's.
Warm weather is the perfect time to upgrade your outdoor space. Let the experts at Burwell Construction transform your backyard with a beautiful patio cover or pergola designed to add comfort, shade, and style to your home. Imagine relaxing outside, entertaining friends, or enjoying a Kansas sunset without the worry of weather. Quality craftsmanship, dependable service, and outdoor spaces built to last. That's what you get with Burwell Construction. Call today, 794-3430, 316-794-3430, or burwellconstruction.com.
John Stugatz, afternoons on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Went a little bit long with Kevin Saul, so we have a very short segment right here to take us to hour number 3 of the show. Hey, don't forget, when it comes to your lawn, when it comes to your outdoor living area, there's only one place to know. That's Meadowlark Landscape and Design. Because they're a great local company that can do anything for your yard, whether it's make it look its best, very green, especially this time of year when the sun's out and it's hot and lawns are typically burning up. When you got Meadowlark Landscape and Design on your side, your yard will continue to look its best. They can take care of your irrigation system, your outdoor patios, your outdoor kitchens, your rocks, your flower beds. It's all done by a simple phone call, 316-880-0227. That's 316-880-0227. Or jump up on their website. It's Meadowlark Landscape and Design, the official landscape company of Steckline Communications and KGSO. Andy Stats down in Frisco for Big 12 Media Days. KU, Kansas State on the clock today. I found it very interesting, Andy, and maybe this is something that you can kind of maybe talk to Coach Leipold about. They were one of very few teams that did not bring a quarterback down, and part of it has to do with the fact that I don't think that they've kind of made the decision. I think probably the race is between Cole Ballard, a redshirt sophomore who has seen some time as a starter due to some injuries when he was a freshman, and Isaiah Marshall, who is a very highly touted young man coming out of high school. Is Andy with us? All right. I guess he's not. I thought he was still there with us.
He said, peace.
I guess so. I know you had a lot to get done here this morning to get in and get credentials and do all that kind of fun stuff. So, anyway.
He said, see ya.
But, that's something hopefully he can kind of talk to Coach Leipold about a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah, he did. He was like,
can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
Well, there you go.
Oh, okay. You can hear me the whole time. Okay.
No, I couldn't hear you. You got to take your microphone off mute.
Well, I did the first time, and then I think I might have double-clicked it and muted it again.
Yeah,
so I'm going to blame my fat fingers, which is why I'm much better on the mic than I am on the field. Explains my current job situation. But if I may, I'll talk about that Jayhawk quarterback situation.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be the first, and that's the question most Jayhawk fans and Big 12 fans are going to want the answer to, because it is seemingly going to be a two-horse race in that quarterback battle. And I remember they also have a third quarterback in that room. It's Rice transfer. I can't remember his name
Chase
right now.
Jenkins.
That's it. Yes.
Yep.
And he's definitely shoring up the depth in that quarterback room, but it definitely is going to be between Cole Ballard, who I think has more experience, but in my opinion, Isaiah Marshall has probably a higher ceiling. And if you really want to get technical, think back to last year, the last couple years. The quarterback for the Jayhawks, Jalen Daniels. All right, that was a Jayhawk through and through. You couldn't bring up Kansas football without talking about him. If Leipold wants to keep that same offense out there, if he felt that they were in a good place with how they were producing, I think Isaiah Marshall plays a little bit more like Jalen Daniels. Now, in my opinion, it's Cole Ballard, even though he's more of a pocket passer, not as mobile, who can also throw the deep ball like Jalen Daniels. It's going to be difficult to replace a guy that started so many games for the Jayhawks and, of course, got and understandably so, got a lot of looks at the next level when he was taking part in pro days and the combine and everything. The question is, though, is it going to be experience or is it going to be the upside? You see this happen all the time in college. There's probably a number of schools, not just in the nation, but in this conference alone, that are having battles similar to this.
Well, I think for most Jayhawk fans, they will tell you where they appreciate Jalen Daniels, they're kind of glad the era is over because it's time to move forward. It dealt with so many on and off the field as far as injuries and, is he going to be available? Is he not? Appreciated the talent, thought he was extremely talented. But I think a lot of Jayhawk fans are looking forward to either Cole Ballard or Isaiah Marshall. I think the big challenge that Coach Leipold is going to have is whoever he names his starter, the other one may start looking at the portal because they want to play and probably should be on a field somewhere. All right, that's going to do it for Hour 2. Stick around with us, Andy. We'll bring you back for Hour 3 next.
Your latest news on KGSO.
From the news desk, I'm Andy Hoosier. Wichita area hospitals have officially released their data regarding the 4th of July Independence Day weekend with the shooting off of fireworks on the number of firework-related injuries that they treated over the weekend. As Cake News reports that according to Ascension Via Christi St. Francis Hospital, they reported 19 emergency department patients, 6 of them going into hospital admission. At the Ascension Via Christi St. Joseph, they say that 9 patients were treated for non-life-threatening burns with no permanent injuries. According to Wesley Health Campuses, they say that overall they saw a total of 27 patients from firework-related injuries between July 2nd and July 5th, with the majority going to the main Wesley Medical Center at 55 North Hillside with 13 patients. In other news, one gubernatorial candidate in the state of Kansas has announced her full-on support for legalizing recreational marijuana within the state. As Democrat candidate and current state senator Cindy Holscher announced her support for the legalization, saying that Kansas needs to stop wasting taxpayer money on criminalizing behavior that is already legal in many neighboring states.
News on KGSO is brought to you by Phil's Coins, buying, selling, and trading coins, bullion, and jewelry. It's 9344 West Central and online at philscoins.com.
Big 12 Media Days are underway down in Frisco, Texas at the Star, kicking off yesterday. Both KU and K-State will be on stage today. Brett Yormark says Big 12 brand of football is exciting.
Our brand of football travels. It's fast, it's dynamic, and it's exciting.
You can hear today's press conferences on Sports Radio KGSO at 1410 AM 93.9 FM. Another big night last night at the plate for the Royals as they scored 16 runs, beating the Mets 16-12. That's sports. I'm Doug Downs. Sports Report brought to you by Burwell Construction. Decks, pergolas, patio covers, roofing, siding, windows, guttering, and more. 316-794-3430 or online at burwellconstruction.com.
Fox Sports. Fox Kansas is Wichita's home for exciting live sports action. The road to the FIFA World Cup quarterfinals begins this week as round of 16 action continues Monday and Tuesday, where every match is win or go home. Then the FIFA World Cup quarterfinals excitement starts on Thursday, continues Friday, and builds to Saturday for 3 days of must-see soccer. And on Sunday, catch the Pickleball Mid-Season Tournament Finals from Grand Rapids at 2. Fox Sports. Fox Kansas. Channel 24, Cox Cable Channel 4.
Are you looking for a better healthcare experience this summer? Kingman Healthcare Center is a full-service hospital with a 24/7 emergency room with little to no wait times. Our clinics offer same-day appointments and convenient scheduling for your annual checkups. Don't wait. Make your health a top priority and schedule your appointment today. You won't regret the short drive without the big city traffic. Exceptional care every time. To learn more, visit our website, kingmanhc.com.
Have you ever wanted to go above and beyond for your community? Volunteering for your local fire or EMS department is your opportunity. Join a family that will serve with you, always have your back, and train you to be the best version of yourself. As a volunteer, you will meet new people, learn new skills, and make a meaningful impact. Learn more at makemeafirefighter.org. That's makemeafirefighter.org.
This is Wichita's sports station, K230PY, 93.9 FM, 1410 AM, and 99.7 HD3. KGSO, Belle Plaine, Wichita.
KGSO weather.
A mild and dry morning here across south central Kansas. Highs this afternoon climbing to 95 degrees. Factor in that sticky humidity. Heat index closer to 100. Wind, it'll be out of the south-southeast 5 to 15. Overnight tonight, a very slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Overnight low near 75. For your day on Thursday, mostly sunny, a high near 97. Feeling hotter with that humidity. Heat index values up around 100, then a late day chance of a shower or thunderstorm. In the Cake First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Frank Waugh.
At 8 o'clock, it's currently 88 degrees.
Broadcasting live from the KGSO studios in West Wichita. This is The Game Plan on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
It is hour number 3 of the show, The Game Plan, right here on the sports leader, KGSO 1410 AM, 93.9 FM. Live streaming up on our website, kgso.com, through our app, in the App Store at SC Wichita, and across multiple platforms online, YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch TV. Leave comments, watch, listen to the show on any of those streaming networks as well. Doug Downs, Chuck Fairweather, Andy Stats live from Frisco at Big 12 Media Days, joining you here on this Wednesday morning for one more hour. I know Andy was working on trying to grab a couple of K-State players, or maybe at least one. I don't know.
Doug, can you hear me?
I got you. You good to go?
We are just about good to go. I'm going to get him set up, but we have defensive back Wesley Fair joining us right here exclusively on KGSO. How fun is that?
Yeah, get him all set up and ready to go. And
I'm trying. It's a lot easier to plug in the instructions than it is in practice for some reason. Okay, so let's see. We'll get him unmuted. Wesley, go ahead and give us a mic check.
Mic check.
There he is. Right, got to turn him up just a little bit.
I will turn him up just a little bit. Okay, but yes, we are live with defensive back Wesley Fair. I'm Andy. You got Doug and Chuck back in the studios in Wichita. How's it going, Wesley?
I'm doing great, man. It's been a good day so far, so I'm just excited to get started.
Yeah, you guys saw you walk in. I already took a video. I know we have a lot of Wildcat faithful back there in Wichita, all over Kansas, really. How great is it just to represent Kansas State here at Media Days and you get to show everybody why you're going to be a team to contend with this year?
Yeah, it's just such a blessing and an honor just to be chosen as one of the guys to just come and represent K-State. And so I'm just excited, yeah.
And you're a Wichita guy,
Yep.
you know. You're talking back to the Wichita studio, Doug and Chuck, you know, if you want to test this guy in his Wichita knowledge, feel free.
Yeah, from Wichita Collegiate and playing safety. And Wesley, appreciate you being on the show here this morning. Thanks for taking some time and join us. And, man, look, I mean, you're an experienced guy that's coming back to this squad. You've started and played a couple of seasons now for the Wildcats. Obviously a new coaching staff this year. How have you kind of adapted to what they've brought to the table? And what are you really looking forward to that may be a little bit different than what we've seen out of you in the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think the new coach staff has just been great. Everything that they've implemented and everything that they're bringing in, the guys that they brought in, the culture that they've changed and brought in with them has just been great, all positive things. And I'm just excited to get this year started. Fall camp's right around the corner, and so that's what I came here to do is play ball, and so I'm excited.
Yeah, of course, head coach Colin Klein's new to this year, but he's not new to the program whatsoever, as you know. The thing I want to talk about, defensive coordinator Jordan Peterson. He came over from A&M with Colin Klein. I want to know what sort of conversations have you been having with him, because you've called yourself pretty much, you're the quarterback of this defensive backfield. You've really been the leader. What have those conversations been like with the defensive coordinator in Peterson?
Yeah, Coach JP is just great, man. He's a fireball, I like to say. Just has a bunch of energy, but he's a really smart dude. And so I just try to soak up as much knowledge as I can from him, and try to understand why he calls what he calls. And so then when I'm out there, I kind of can think how he thinks. And but that's really been my goal for the last couple months, just learning trying to learn as much as he can teach me. So, yeah.
From that defensive backfield spot, when it comes to kind of just the way that you guys want to play, how has Coach JP kind of what's his philosophy? Is it fly around to the football? Make sure that obviously you guys, your coverages are good. Is it a lot of zone, a lot of one-on-one? Like, what's kind of the philosophy there?
Yeah, so Coach JP, I think he demonstrates it himself, but he starts off with energy. I think he believes, and I believe, that if we have energy and we come excited to play and we believe in what we're doing, no matter what we're doing, we're going to be able to execute and do it to the best of our abilities. And so I think that's going to take care of a lot. Other than that, I'm excited. I think we play really fast, and yeah.
We're talking with Kansas State defensive back Wesley Fair. You mentioned in interviews before, you've really stepped into the leadership role of this defensive backfield. That's made a little more challenging, not just with the guys that are on the team that are young, but all these transfers coming in, because you guys got a loaded defensive backfield now full of transfers. Has that been difficult stepping into that role to get all these guys going, or is it something that's felt natural for you as you've gone on in your time at Kansas State?
Yeah, it's definitely – I think the leadership role is not unnatural for me, but stepping in and being a more vocal leader is something that I had to work on. Like you said, with a bunch of transfers and young guys, we really have tried to let them know what the K-State culture is really about. And I think when they truly believe that, and we have a whole defensive unit playing as one, playing as the K-State Wildcats, I think that's when we can be really dangerous. So,
yeah, and Doug brought it up, what sort of philosophy you guys want to go for. Colin Klein's described his style as new old school, and it was before your and I time, but the Kansas State defense of the 90s, 2000s, that violent, hard-hitting, go-get-you type of thing. Do you think that plays well to your play style?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm excited because I think a lot of what Coach is trying to do, he's doing what players are kind of capable of, and he's really using his, knowledge in his past to play well for this year's team. So
yeah.
I'm just curious, Wesley. Do you ever get a chance, like during a bye week or whatever, to come back and watch a little Spartan football there with Wichita Collegiate?
I didn't get to come this last year. I was able to come the year prior, but I was keeping up, and so it was exciting season, especially basketball season. That was fun. They went on a nice run there. So but I'm definitely supporting Wichita. Any chance I get.
Well, and here's a question that I have, because I cover a lot of high school football. I've been doing play-by-play for high school football for a long time. And what I've really seen, especially over the last 5 or 6 years, is just more and more D1 talent that comes out of this area. And I know at Kansas State, it's always been a program that's brought kids in from all over the state, does a lot of in-state kids, really develops kids. But just kind of what are your overall thoughts of where we are now with high school football, and what are you seeing? Are you seeing these kids come in and they just have more knowledge about the game than ever before?
Yeah, for sure. I think Kansas football is something that has been underrated for a long time.
Agreed.
And I think that we're just now stepping into that role of that, Kansas kids can play ball too. And I'm excited about that just because I think we're getting more of what we deserve. I think in the past it was hard for players to kind of get that recognition that they deserve, but I think now that people are stepping up and playing well on big stages, I think it's really helping out Kansas. So,
I want to talk for a second about your personal growth too. You mentioned in an interview earlier this offseason where you started the first half of of last year, the second half you appeared in all 12 games, but you didn't always make those starts. How do you manage your own personal growth while also trying to bring this entire defensive unit up as well? I know that's been a big goal for you.
Yeah, for sure. I think this year I've just been working on my speed and my post work mainly. I think just being able to lock into the details doesn't only help me, but it helps the players around me too that I'm trying to lead. When I notice that I'm not doing something well, I can critique myself, and then I can also help out other people when I notice that they're not doing necessarily the correct things either. And so I think just when you're harder on yourself, you can be harder on those around you because they know that they just want that you want the best for them. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Doug, Chuck, I'll turn it over to you for any more questions for this bright young man in front of me.
Well, I was going to ask you, Wesley, kind of on more of a personal level. I know started out last year really, really well. Things maybe did the back half of the season, and something you've admitted, didn't quite pan out the way that you had personally hoped for.
Yep.
But with the coaching staff change, some of the things that you've went through this offseason, confidence at all-time high, and you seem to be ready to rock and roll for the season. What are some of the things that you look at doing differently and the coaching staff is helping you with to be able to get through the entire season, start to finish at a high level?
Yeah, so I'm just going to shout out my Coach JJ really quick. He's been doing a great job helping me just where my weaknesses are and what I can improve on. I think this year my main goal is just going to be coming out with confidence each and every game. I come out with fire and I come out prepared, ready to play. And so I think the main thing for me is just going to be, man, how can I go attack every ball because I know that's my ball in the air and things like that. And so I'm just excited, man. I'm just really excited to get started. So.
All right, I just got one final thought. I know you're going to have a busy day today, and we'll let you go, but here's my kind of final thought for you. You know, it seems like, and especially guys like us that spend 3 hours talking sports every day, we focus a lot, probably too much, on NIL, transfer portal, all this stuff that's going on. You, though, focus on not only being a great player at Kansas State, but academics, and academic all Big 12 player last season. So congratulations on that. And how important is that to you to maintain that academic status and getting that education?
Yeah, and I credit that to my parents. They always taught me I'm a student athlete, so student always comes first. And as long as I know I'm trying to play football for as long as I can, but at the end of the day, I know that I have life outside of football. Football is not my identity, but it's something that I do. So keeping good grades and knowing school is a priority and it's a privilege is just something that I think is really important. So, yeah.
Wesley, man, we appreciate your time today. And I know, again, you're going to have a busy day, and you're going to have a lot of media guys like us that you're going to have to probably repeat yourself 1,000 times. So thanks for making us be your first one of the day. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Real quick, I think I know the answer to this one. 17 in a row against that school in Lawrence, Kansas Jayhawks.
Yep.
Think you got 18 in you?
No doubt.
Yeah. That's going to be a question I think a lot of folks are going to love to answer today. Well, if they're wearing purple and gray, I should say.
If they know it's good.
Well, again, that's defensive back Wesley Fair with Kansas State. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys.
Of course.
Hey, thanks, Wesley. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
What a great guy, man. And
absolutely.
you can tell just very intelligent, and I loved his answer.
Yeah.
You know, look, football is not my identity. I play football.
Yeah.
And that's great stuff. And here's one of the things that's been very cool to watch coming out of this state. Not only do we have more kids that are able to achieve the D1 level, but when they get there, not only do they have great success on the field, but they've had great success in the classroom. I mean, Brees Hall graduated from Iowa State in 3 years on the dean's list, and now is, you know, one of the highest paid running backs in the NFL. There's no doubt that whatever Wesley decides to do, whether football is his career or something else, he's going to be successful at it. There's no doubt about it.
No doubt at all. Impressive young kid. And like I said, that's kind of why I threw the question at him. I did. Like, sometimes, you know, how you answer tough questions about yourself and your own performance really says a lot about you. And I think he's poised to have a good year.
Very cool stuff. Looking forward to some more folks that Andy's going to be able to grab and have on not only this show, but on this afternoon with the Press Box, which
all right, I'm back,
is
guys.
where
Sorry
he'll
about that.
probably have a lot. No, I appreciate you getting him on, man. And I was just telling Chuck, I mean, just a great guy. You can tell very intelligent and just loves his life right now. You can tell he's having a good time.
Yeah, we got him at the right time, too. If you go on the KGSO Facebook page, I actually got when all the players first arrived here, walked in. They actually came out to field some questions from us before anybody else got here because I'm not the only Kansas organization here. So they came out, gave us a little bit of content. Now they're going to go back in and probably face everybody else. But they saw that there was a lot of the local studios and local media here and made the time of day for us, and that was really considerate of them. So shout out the Wildcats and their entire organization.
And hopefully don't worry, KU fans. We are going to have plenty of Jayhawk players and coaches on as well. We're not.
There's actually more KU players than K-State players showing up today, so we have no choice but to provide you a whole lot of Jayhawk stuff as well.
Yeah. Well, as soon as you find some of them, I'm sure you'll wrestle. Well, maybe not wrestle one of them because you may not win that, but you know.
Yeah. I don't think I'm wrestling the offensive lineman for the Jayhawks. Calvin Clements is here. I think he's 6'4", 315. So I'm going to let him win that battle.
Just a small guy.
Just a small guy.
No big deal for 5'9", 190 of me.
Yeah, no.
Very much looking forward to all the coverage that we have coming from you down there in Frisco, and as we get excited about some Big 12 football, man. And look, I think this is going to be an exciting season in the Big 12. And I think in the Big 12, we can look at some of these other conferences like the SEC or the Big 10 or whatever, and pretty much could probably you probably pick who's going to come out of those conferences. Like it may be between 2 or 3 schools that you got a choice from, but chances are you're probably going to be right. Dude, in the Big 12, I don't know. I mean, I know Texas Tech is the favorite. I know they got the most money. But when you don't have your quarterback, like that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
So
it's absolutely a big deal, but I do challenge you, Doug. If it's not Tech, who's the team that's rising to the occasion? I have 2 in mind. I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, I think BYU is going to be solid. That you're going to have to watch out for them. I like Kansas State just because of all the experience that they have coming back, and if Avery Johnson continues his growth and has that breakout year that we've been waiting for from him, not to say that he's played bad, but like I'm talking about just that superstar breakout year. Then, and with Colin Klein leading this thing, I think K-State can be really good. I don't know enough about KU and some of the transfers that they brought in. I know that they did a good job in the portal, but I just don't know enough about the players to really talk intelligent about that. But here's my dark horse. Here's the one I think you got to watch out for. Great coach, has the support. Watch out for Willie Fritz and the Houston Cougars. I think they could be that Arizona State surprise team that we saw a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay. I love a good hot take. We are in sports radio. That's kind of our job. But Houston, okay, they're not going to be here today as much as I'd love to talk to Willie Fritz. But we are going to have a lot of great content today, both the Kansas teams. There's 3 out of the 4 new head coaches to the conference are going to be here today taking questions, including, of course, Kansas State head coach Colin Klein, who is wearing a very dapper gray suit just to the left of me, talking with some members of the K-State media. Wyatt Thompson, voice of the Wildcats, is here. Got to say hi to him. And, yeah, there's not even probably 30% of the people that are going to be filling the field here at Ford Field today here yet. But you can already sense the anticipation, the excitement. Yeah, it's going to be another great season in the Big 12.
So Devin asked this question, being a Big Ten guy, coming from Big Ten country, and now covering the Big 12, what is one of the big differences that you see between the two conferences?
Well, aside from the fact that the Big 12 stole a team from Ohio randomly and Cincinnati's here, which I still don't exactly understand in my Big Ten mind, but maybe I should because, what is it, the Big Ten has like 19 teams and the Big 12 has 16, so numbers don't mean anything anymore. But anyways, back to my point.
Neither does geography.
Yeah, fair enough. But I think this was mentioned earlier by Chuck or the one caller when it comes to the media coverage and trying to stay together as a conference, right? We want to hype up the product that is Big 12 football. And the proof is in the pudding. Big 12 is lagging behind the Big 10, the SEC, and the ACC when it comes to revenue, when it comes to getting on airtime, and I hate to say this, when it really comes to relevancy when it comes to the postseason, right? So despite the fact that this is a conference that wants to make it to that $1 billion revenue threshold, that wants to diminish something like the average of $60 million per athletic department, an average loss, and they're doing great ways to do that. But, and maybe this is just me showing a little bit of my hometown bias, I think there's a little bit more lack of unity here in the Big 12 than it seems to be in the Big 10. Big 10, the identity, the brand there seems a bit stronger than the Big 12. Granted, 2 of the most notable Big 12 teams are no longer in the Big 12. I still think Texas and Oklahoma as Big 12 teams, as I'm sure you do. Doug, you still think of Nebraska as a Big 12 team rather than a Big 10 team.
Yeah.
And I understand there's a lot of new teams and new characters at play that are influencing that. But something about the Big 12 brand with all of these new schools and, of course, the ongoing Sorsby situation, and there's clearly some animosity that's going on towards the league office. I don't know. To me, it seems like everybody's a bit too in their own lane rather than trying to form together as the Big 12 conference. They rather go and seek out their own personal glory. I could be way off on that, and I haven't been here long enough, worked long enough in the Big 12 to say that 100% with certainty. But that's just my initial impression.
So my assessment of the Power Four conferences, Chuck, is this. You have the SEC that every time they walk into a room, they feel like that they're going to be the bully. Like they're going to be the big bad bully that's just going to look at you and go, get out of my way, punk, right? And until they get to the national championship game or the playoffs, and then they get their butts kicked. And so I kind of feel this about the SEC. The Big Ten, they're kind of the conference that's sitting back going, all right, yeah, we see you over there, SEC. We know everybody's talking about you, but guess what? We take home the trophy every year, so it's whatever.
Yeah.
You still can't play with us. And then you got the Big 12 that's kind of the, let's bring on the party. Like this, we want to have fun everywhere we go. Our stadiums are full of tailgaters. We have a great time. We got music. We got everybody. And then the ACC says, when's basketball season? I kind of feel like that's my assessment of the conference.
I wish you were wrong. I wish it was different than that, but I don't think anybody would disagree with that assessment.
No, it seems to be pretty well about the attitude of all the conferences.
I mean, Doug talks about Big 12 being the party conference. You had Deion Sanders live on ESPN saying, when we go to Atlanta, I have a curfew in place, not for the players, but for the coaches, because we're going to have some fun. Like, it's part of their brand. You have guys actively pushing that part of it.
Well, your commissioner came from the entertainment industry. He worked for Jay-Z. He worked for NASCAR. Like, that's where he came from. And he came to the Big 12 for the reason of the Big 12 has to do things that may be out of the norm and out-of-the-box thinking so they can get better recruits to come in, because these kids are going to come in and see that, and they're going to say, man, they're having concerts at halftime. They got all this tailgating going on. They've got, this and that and that, and that's what's part of the allure of getting them to a Big 12 school.
I think so. The thing that Yormark has stressed in a lot of his pressers, and it was a question I wanted to ask him specifically about yesterday. He said something about they are a media-free agent in a couple years, 2030, 2031, when their deal with ESPN runs dry. He wants to, and I quote, create the most value out of this conference that he can. Now, Doug, you talked about you don't like necessarily the commissioner coming out and saying that. It's more about the on-field product, which, of course, I think providing value in that is the act of creating a better on-field product. But the fact of the matter is this is still a business. He has to be the businessman ambassador first and foremost. And we're going to get to talk a lot of football today, but the glaring issue with the Big 12 is if it wants to get to that level of relevancy that Yormark, that all these teams want to aspire to, there's going to need to be a lot more money thrown in. There's going to be a lot more care taken to the on-field performance of these teams, getting them to that national level of relevancy.
Well, listen, they've got the corporate sponsor now. Obviously, Monster Energy is behind the Big 12 because you see that everywhere you go while you're down there. I don't mind him talking about the brand of the Big 12 and their next media rights deal. Apparently, it looks like probably Fox is the one that's on board based off of what he said yesterday and giving them the big shout out, which I love because I think Fox has the best sports out there, to be honest with you, when it comes to the coverage. So I don't mind all that. Really, again, the only thing that Yormark said yesterday that kind of, and I may have misinterpreted it, was the fact that when it comes to expanding the football playoffs, it's all about more access. And I understand that athletic directors, commissioners, everybody want more access. But I also think you need to look at what's best for college football, what's best for your student athletes. And you got to constantly, in my opinion, as a commissioner, you got to constantly challenge your schools to be better. Look, just because if you want to make the playoffs, get your teams better, like across the board. And I say that to every conference. The Big Ten is the same way. The Big Ten cannot constantly rely on Ohio State and Michigan to carry its flag. I know Indiana won last year, but that was 1 year off. But most of the time, it's Ohio State and Michigan. You've got big brands there, man. You got Penn State, you got USC, you got UCLA, you got Nebraska. Like, those teams have to get better.
I agree. You're handing these teams the keys, essentially. That was the whole deal of trying to bring in, Doug, I think you called it corporate partnerships. Some people call it private equity, whatever it is, where they're trying to inject money, inject capital into all these programs. Granted, the system that they're rolling out, nobody has opted into the $30 million line of credit, whatever it happens to be. But the keys are there. They're giving them mechanisms to try and compete at the highest level. Granted, is it the best way to go about it? Well, I'll let somebody that's a little more financially savvy discuss that. But the fact of the matter is, this is a growing and changing Big 12 conference that, in theory, could even face some expansion in the next couple of years. We didn't even bring that up, but with the Save College Sports Act, they're like one of the last conferences that would have a chance to bring on one or two more members if they wanted to push their membership out to 18, 19, unheard of, but even 20 teams.
All right, well, we can talk about that on the other side of the break. We got a couple of segments left. Got to get to a quick timeout before I do, though. How about this? 522-1410. You call us right now. You get free 4 concretes from Andy's Frozen Custard. 4 locations, 40 years strong. 522-1410.
Call the game plan now on the Maximum Outdoor Equipment phone lines at 522-1410.
The game plan. KGSO.
This is The Herd.
You got to be consistent.
With Colin Cowherd.
Mic check. All right, this is interesting.
Draymond Green of the Warriors has declined his roughly $28 million option to become a free agent. Again, doesn't mean he's leaving. What he is doing is signaling to you and I, LeBron and AD may be Warriors. I like this move.
This is The Herd.
Weekdays at 11 a.m. right here on KGSO and on the SC Wichita app.
My name is Chance English. I'm the CEO of English Trash Service. With English Trash Service, you get reliable, personalized service. With so many other companies, the service goes down while the pricing goes up. We saw a need for reliability and customer service in the local trash market. We know you have many choices in the area. With us, we treat every customer like a neighbor. When you get your next bill, consider giving us a try. Visit our website at english-rentals.com. That's english-rentals.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
The best barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. Right now, Hog Wild is serving up a $5.99 meal that's big on flavor and easy on your wallet. Get a one-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side, and a drink, all for just $5.99. Want brisket? Upgrade to our tender slow-smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Pulled pork, juicy chicken, and hot links. Everything is smoked fresh, made daily, and piled high. This is real barbecue at a price that's hard to beat. When you want big flavor and a big deal, head to Hog Wild for the $5.99 meal deal today. Great food, great price, great barbecue. Join us for lunch or dinner or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 6 locations in Wichita, also in Derby, El Dorado, Hutchinson, and Salina.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. Hog Wild, get some for you. But don't be late, we close at 8.
Professional excavators and homeowners, safety always comes first, and safe digging is no accident. So before you begin your next digging project, remember to call Kansas 811 to have your underground utility lines marked for free. Know what's below. Call 811 before you dig. So play it safe, put down the shovel, pick up the phone, and call 811 first. This message is brought to you by Kansas 811, reminding you that no matter if your digging project is big or small, don't make a judgment call. Always call 811 before you dig.
Are you looking for a better healthcare experience this summer? Kingman Healthcare Center is a full-service hospital with a 24/7 emergency room with little to no wait times. Our clinics offer same-day appointments and convenient scheduling for your annual checkups. Don't wait. Make your health a top priority and schedule your appointment today. You won't regret the short drive without the big city traffic. Exceptional care every time. To learn more, visit our website, kingmanhc.com.
He's known for his passion and personality and distinctive voice. Get ready for singer, songwriter, and actor Sebastian Bach in concert at Seven Clans First Council Casino and Resort, Saturday, July 25th. Sebastian Bach live. Tickets are on sale now at the Seven Clans Players Club and Ticketstorm.com. See 80s rock icon Sebastian Bach only at Seven Clans First Council Casino and Resort in Newkirk.
Imagine a tropical paradise where the sun always shines and the fun never ends. Welcome to Blast Off Bay, the ultimate indoor water park. Catch a wave on our state-of-the-art surf machine, unwind with a cold drink at the poolside bar, or relax in our warm, inviting hot tub. Then get ready for thrills on 11 exciting water slides that'll take your breath away. Hungry? Enjoy pizza, burgers, wings, and more. Open 365 days a year with a perfect climate every day. Don't wait. Plan your escape today to Blast Off Bay.
Wichita's sports leader, KGSO, is brought to you by Devon James. Devon James Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888.
Working to support our local community. Wichita owned. Wichita proud. This is KGSO.
Welcome back into the show. This portion of the show brought to you by our friends at Doc Greens. 3 locations right here in Wichita, out west, New Market Square, Central and Hillside, and in the waterfront. At Doc Greens you can have a great lunch. Salads, all kinds of them. Sandwiches, wraps, entree options, juices made out of fruits and vegetables. It's a healthy option for you to get to Doc Greens. You'll get full without feeling bloated when you go by and see him. Devin and his crew always do a great job. They'll take great care of you. I know a lot of you have went in to see Doc Green since they've been a sponsor of the show. We can't thank you enough for that. Make sure you stop into one of those locations, if not today, sometime this week, and enjoy a great lunch at Doc Green's. Make sure you tell them you heard about them right here on the Game Plan and KGS. So I want to step away from our talk of Big 12 Media Days for a moment because I kind of want to get to this story. And Andy, you can chime in on it as well if you're still with us.
Yep.
But it kind of goes a little bit hand in hand, and maybe what we were talking about. So, Brett Yormark was asked about the Scoresby thing. He said, look, this is not the time for us to talk about this. It'll come at a later date. And then somebody pressed him on it and all this other stuff. So that's kind of an issue hovering over college football with the gambling and the legal part of it and all that. And it resulted in Scoresby not really being allowed to play football this year, right? So we turn our attention now to the NFL. And I don't know how you guys feel about this or not, but we talked about this the other day with Teron Arnold, the defensive back out of Detroit, who basically was arrested on armed robbery and kidnapping charges, had to pay $1 million bond to get out of jail. He has been ordered by a judge that he cannot leave his house other than to participate in training or traveling with the NFL or to make court-related appearances. And yesterday, or Monday rather, the NFL cleared him on waivers as a free agent to join another team. And there's other teams that are talking to him. I mean, this is a guy that committed, allegedly, a felony, and he will probably end up on another NFL roster.
The NFL, though, and I'll go back and I'll reference the Rashee Rice case. The NFL has a habit, specifically, of waiting until the legal system has fully run its course.
They haven't here.
They do their own investigation, and then that's when they'll take punitive action against a player as far as any type of league discipline.
This guy was released by the team that drafted him in the first round.
That's the team. I'm talking the league office.
I understand that.
That's why the league office has went ahead and cleared them, and it's business as normal until the legal side of things is taken care of and it runs its course and they do their own investigation. The league office isn't going to take action against him likely until that happens.
Okay, so what happens if he's found guilty and he's on another team? Now this team is just...
That's the risk they take.
SOL?
That's the risk they take. I'm sure they understand those risks before they talk to him.
I guess my question to this is, and again, I'm not going to tell you that he's guilty. These are serious charges. And it's got to play out in court, so I'm not going to tell you. I mean, it's, proven innocent, or you're innocent until proven guilty in cases here in the United States. I get that. But it's kind of crazy. There's a lot hovering here. And he's cleared by the NFL as a free agent to join another team. We have a guy that just self-reported himself as a gambling habit, and he's not allowed to play football for a year in college. Like, it's in my opinion, two different, set of rules or whatever it is. And what, as the NFL, what does this teach our younger players? That's my question.
Yeah, no,
Andy?
I don't.
I think it's an excellent point. You've seen this time and time again. It's unfortunately a real part of building rosters in professional sports sometimes these days. And as crazy and maybe as sinister and as vile as this sounds, I understand that the job of NFL general managers, the front offices, is to win games. And unfortunately, does that mean for a lot of these guys facing charges, you need to run this risk versus reward calculation for guys that potentially have committed serious crimes, or at least are alleged to have commit serious crimes? I understand you have to win games, and if you think of Terry Arnold, on paper, removing everything else, yes, he's a defensive back that can help out a lot of teams. But what's the point of having him on the team if you run into not only the mess of maybe not even having him on the field, but it's a PR nightmare? And in this day and age, I think we can all agree, personal relations and public relations has never been more important for football teams, for professional teams, because it's an overall brand on their social media, on everywhere. It's all-encompassing. You can't escape it.
Well, there's two things to this that I think sets it apart because Devin says, Josh Jacobs still has a chance of suspension. And I understand, you got that situation. You've got the Rashee Rice situation. This is a situation where this guy he turned himself in. He got arrested. He's got felony charges hanging over his head. He had a $1 million bond, which means that there's enough evidence somewhere where the court said, we're not going to let you go unless you pay $1 million. And he's basically on house arrest. Like those other guys, I don't think they didn't go through all that. Like these are serious allegations. So it just kind of surprised me that the NFL cleared him on waivers to say you can go join another team.
Well, if he's on house arrest, it might be a moot point. Just because there's teams engaging in conversation doesn't mean anybody's going to sign him either. And I would say they likely won't if he can't leave the house.
Well, he can leave the house for training, traveling with the NFL, but he can't go on a team that's going to go overseas because they've revoked his passport.
Yeah.
It's an important discussion because this is certainly not the last time this is going to happen. If we want to talk about my hometown team, do we need to even bring up the topic and the atmosphere around the whole Deshaun Watson trading and then signing and then re-signing to the biggest guaranteed money contract and the fallout from that? And now he's still playing, but people still have their separate opinions and feelings about that. I don't know if there's a easy connect dot A to dot B solution to this, but there are people that get paid in that league office a heck of a lot more than three of us get paid. And I think something has to be done to standardize this a little bit more before this completely gets out of control where we're letting just anybody play football no matter what they've done off the field, because I don't think it should be that case.
But at least with the Deshaun Watson thing, and what he did was creepy and it was stupid and it was everything else you want to put in there, it was a civil matter. It wasn't a felony. He wasn't held on a $1 million bond.
Yes.
But it could have been. I mean, had there been probably some more solid proof, these guys could have gotten together and probably filed criminal charges against him.
Maybe.
For sexual abuse.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, look, I don't know enough about the case to talk about all the details on it, but I don't know. It was just kind of weird to me that, here we talk about this with the Sorsby case of gambling and nobody will take a chance on him. He's out of football for the year. The NFL wouldn't do a supplemental draft for him. Canadian Football League said no. Go work on yourself. But yet we clear a guy on waivers that just had to post $1 million bond to get out and is on house arrest. It just, to me, it sends two different messages.
I think this has long been a complaint of a lot of sports offices. We see it in the Big 12. That was the whole Sorsby case yesterday, where teams feel like they're being treated unfairly, or it's rules for thee, not for me. It's different case-by-case basis when there really should be a standard thing out here. It's a good point, Doug. Why was he immediately cleared for the felony, the $1 million bond charge, when other guys have basically been completely blackballed? Well, maybe blackballed isn't the right term, but I think you get what I mean, where they've had no avenue back to the league after something that maybe is nowhere near on the scale of as what Terrion Arnold is accused of having done.
No doubt about it.
Agreed.
All right, on back to the Big 12 and kind of some things that we were talking about prior to the break, and that is the private equity. I don't necessarily mind, and I understand that these schools need to find as many revenue avenues as they possibly can because of everything that's went down, especially with now the fact that you've got schools with the house settlement that have to pay the NIL and all that kind of stuff. I guess what I don't understand about the private equity part of it is what school is going to go out and take a portion of that $30 million knowing that they got to pay it back at like a 300% interest rate. Like, to me, financially, that doesn't make sense.
I really don't have an answer for you just yet. I know the only school that's gone out and found a solution different to that, they still want to be ingested with all this private equity capital, was Utah. They have gotten and brokered their own deal. I forget with which organization or private equity fund. Again, it's above my pay grade when it comes to the specifics there. But Utah's gone out and done it. I'd imagine we're going to see a lot of other schools try and get as much money in their athletic offices as they can, because boosters and donations and endowment can only get you so far. In this day and age, you need to be as competitive as possible. And to be honest with you, I know I said before, yes, these teams technically have a path to getting more money invested in their programs. But this solution to it almost feels a little bit like, here you go. Just scrounge up together just to say and save face and say that they did something. And another thing on this, talking about that monster deal, I got the details wrong of that when I was reporting on it yesterday. I thought that for this brand deal, you basically won't be able to look at a Big 12 logo or at a Big 12 field, at a Big 12 team without seeing the monster logo, without hearing them as a presenting sponsor. I was told it was a $20 million or so deal. I thought that was per team. Each team is only getting a little over $1 million to basically be advertised alongside Monster, everything that they do for year over year.
Wow.
To me, that sounds like a horrendous deal for all these Big 12 teams, and it's being presented as some sort of saving grace to inject money into these programs when it's really not.
I mean, $1 million still helps.
It still helps, but in
Right?
the grand scheme of things, when these athletic departments are losing, on average in the conference, $50-60 million, it feels like a drop in the bucket. It feels like a slap in the face.
Yeah, I was just looking this up real quick because I can't remember. It's the Big Ten Conference. They are going to have Culver's logo on their uniforms.
Culver's, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the entire Big Ten.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was okay.
Well, I mean, it's a Wisconsin-based company.
What's their deal with the Big Ten? What's their worth?
I'm not exactly sure I got the amount on that.
If the deal ends up being comparable, maybe I'll take a different tone on this. But again, it seems like, and I'm not the only one that thinks this, some of the discussion online, people kind of feel the Big 12 could have at least asked for some more money here, or maybe did some bidding around, shopping around for these different companies that wanted to be the presenting sponsor, because I know the point is getting more money in these programs, basically by any means necessary. But again, these athletic departments are throwing around hundreds of millions of dollars. Getting a top player in the portal alone these days is a couple $1 million. So that pays for one of those players if you want to compete at the national stage?
Look, it's more than that. It's $4, $5, $6 million.
Right. My point is, for a conference that's preaching about growth and wanting to increase revenues, I feel they could have done better with that. And I feel that at least the whole private equity step, no school has taken that offer yet, which you mentioned, Doug. I don't know if there's going to be a school that will before it expires in a year. They have an option to opt into it year over year. But it feels like it's a very big inflection point for the Big 12. Are they going to contend with the big dogs in the other Power 4 conferences, or are they going to fade away into obscurity and still be known as the party conference?
Well, I think for the Big 12, I think you're looking for all the money avenues that you are, because let's face it, a lot of the Big 12 schools, they're not in the most glamorous parts of the world. I mean, there's not a lot of people that are coming out of probably, Ohio or New York or California that says, hey, send me to Ames, Iowa. Like, there's not a lot of folks that's, on their bucket list of places to go. So I think the Big 12 is going to look for anything they possibly can to infuse more money into their conference, even if it means schools have to take a loan and pay it back at a very high interest rate. I applaud them for being creative that way.
It shows that the effort's there. If nothing else, people can see that there is an effort being made. Now, your thoughts on the effort, as well, I got on my soapbox to talk about, well, that's a different thing. But there is definitely a concerted effort to get the Big 12 to the national levels of relevancy that they want to. They're going to post a record revenue this year, so clearly something's working.
TBT's coming to Wichita July 20th through the 23rd. We are the home for the Aftershots. You can hear all the games right here on KGSO. You can also find your tickets at tbthoops.com. Tell you what, you want a pair of tickets? I got them for you right now. First caller, 522-1410. Back after this.
This portion of the game plan brought to you by Southwestern Remodeling, Wichita's full-line remodeler since 1970. See our project galleries at southwesternremodeling.com.
The game plan. KGSO.
This is Stu Gatz and Company live.
The audience wants this.
You're listening to Stu Gatz and Company live.
Taylor has advice for England if they want any chance to win in Mexico. What's your advice for them? Because Mexico has this home field advantage that I'm not all too comfortable with. I have to be honest. Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you this right now. A decoy bus with decoy players.
Stu Gatz and Company live.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. on KGSO and on the SC Wichita app.
Looking for a new-to-you ride? For over 70 years, customers have trusted Rusty Egg Ford with quality vehicles and exceptional service. We have 500 used cars available with 150 Ford Blue Advantage certified. From fuel-efficient cars to tough trucks and versatile SUVs, you'll find quality, value, and selection all in one place. That's peace of mind with every mile. Buy with confidence at Rusty Egg Ford. Visit rustyeggford.com. Family owned and simply the best place to buy. See dealer for details.
Spend an evening with the legendary John Anderson at Seven Clans First Council Casino. Saturday, August 15th. John Anderson in an intimate acoustic show. Get tickets online at sevenclans.com or the casino box office. Don't miss John Anderson. Coming to First Council Casino in Newkirk.
Pride Ag Ace Hardware will get you ready for the lake now that summer is officially here. Start with the grill. Whether you need gas, pellet, or flat tops, Pride Ag has it all with top brands like Halo and Napoleon. Whichever one you choose, Meat Church Rubs, exclusively at Ace, will make your meat delicious. With the meat on the grill, keep your drinks cool with Yeti cooler and cups, and entertain the whole party with the Turtle Box speaker. Get everything you need to have fun at the lake this summer at Pride Ag Ace Hardware in Mays. 5204 North Mays Road.
Are you in need of a new dentist? Check out 316 Dental at 13th and West Street. 316 Dental is now offering same-day services with the addition of a second dentist. That's right, same day. The hardworking team includes 4 hygienists and stays open late to fit your schedule. 316 Dental accepts most major insurance companies. Ask them about their new patient special that includes a comprehensive exam and x-rays. They also offer implants and Invisalign.
That soars above and beyond the 316 Dental.
Come check out the defending champion Aftershocks at Charles Koch Arena starting July 20th in the new look TBT. The Wichita State alums will be hosting the New Mexico alumni team as part of a best of 3 series on the road to TBT's now $2 million prize. Dexter Dennis joins this year's roster of Shocker legends playing July 20th and 23rd. For tickets, go to tbthoops.com, the Wichita State box office, or listen for giveaways here on this station. And stay tuned for the radio call The Aftershocks here on KGSL.
Looking for a healthier option to get you through the afternoon grind? Check out Doc Greens with 3 locations in Wichita. At Doc Greens, you can find a huge selection of salads, wraps, and sandwiches that won't leave you feeling bloated all afternoon. With the freshest ingredients, you know you'll always feel great after a lunch or dinner at Doc Greens. Check them out at Central and Hillside or at the Waterfront and Newmarket Square. While you're there, don't forget to pick up a few bottles of freshly pressed juice. Doc Greens, locally owned and operated.
The TBT tournament is here, and we have you covered. This is Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Man, it's been a quick 3 hours. Time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't agree with you.
Can't get out of here, though, without talking about our friends.
Taco Tico, it's all about the taste.
10-pack of tacos, still $10.99 at Taco Tico. Going to be on special for a few more days, and they'll go to another great special. So get by, get your 10-pack of tacos. Man, you can feed, at least 2 people in your office, maybe 3.
Couple.
$10.99. Any of the Taco Tico locations. 13th and Tyler, 35th and Rock Road, Augusta, Arc City, El Dorado, Newton, Derby. It's all about the taste at Taco Tico. You can order online at tacotico.us as well. 522-1410. It has been kind of a slower day on the phones, so call the show. If you want to be a part of it, you can even talk to Andy down at Frisco. He is live down there all day today. It's Big 12 Media Days getting underway. Don't forget, we will bring you live the press conferences from both KU and K-State starting at, what'd you say, about 12:10?
K-State will be first at 12:20.
12:20.
Kansas will follow at 12:40. I'm going to try and get a question into both coaches, too. And you know what? Maybe someone can call in and let me know what they want to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. You got a question that you want Andy to ask? I think one of the things, and maybe it's not specifically for KU or K-State, but I think the 5-for-5 deal is going to be a hot topic down there as well.
I'm definitely looking forward to asking at least a couple different folks' opinions on it, whether it be coaches. The current players probably don't pay it any mind, but a lot of the other media personalities here, because that's not something that just affects the conference. That's not just something that affects the people here. That's the entire future of the sport. And I don't know if you guys have talked about it on the show. Have we kind of given our opinions on that thus far?
Yeah, I like it.
I like it too. I like it from the standpoint that I think it simplifies things. You get rid of the red shirt, a guy playing 2 or 3 games, and then we're going to conserve a year of his eligibility. Injuries, yes, they happen. They're part of the sport, but a guy being in college, athletics for 7-8 years because of injuries, sometimes that's not always the way that life works out. So 5 years, given that extra year of what we considered from what we would consider a standard full 4 years, to kind of help, with some of that stuff, great. And if you end up playing 5, you end up playing 5, I kind of like the way that they went with that.
And I'll break in the action real quick. The Jayhawks have arrived. Head coach Lance Leipold, 2 tables down from me, is going to hop on an interview with some other organization. I've yet to see who, but we're going to definitely talk to Coach Leipold and then Coach Klein, who him and his fantastic gray suit have wandered off somewhere else. So they're both in the building. Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark has also entered. He won't be speaking to the press today. I'd imagine there will be some sort of press availability for him, if brief at all. I'm going to try and talk to him as well. But, yeah, we're getting packed down here in Frisco, folks.
Well, get with Andrew, the SID at KU, and say, hey, we need to get Leipold scheduled, and get with Ryan over at K-State and say we need to get Coach Klein scheduled as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, Kansas is sending 5 different players, and as Doug noted, one of them is not any quarterback on the team. We're going to hopefully talk to Coach Leipold about that situation. But for the Jayhawks, it'll be O-lineman Calvin Clements, 3 members of the defense in Leroy Harris III, Blake Harold, and Trey Lathan, as well as wide receiver Cameron Pickett, one of the few wide receivers returning from last season. And definitely want his take on how the transfer class is looking on this KU offense.
No doubt about it. By the way, the 5 for 5, it could affect some of the current players because the NCAA has yet to say, at least that I've seen, and I may be wrong. If you've seen something different, please let me know. But I even asked White about this last week. What happens with guys that are in year 6, some even in 7 that are on current rosters? What, are they grandfathered in?
I actually don't have the answer to that. I'm looking on NCAA.org right now to see if that is going to be the case. It appears that there are exceptions made. Well, those have to do with pregnancy or active duty military service. So I don't know if that's exactly relevant to our topic of discussion here. I would imagine they're not going to slap all these student athletes in the face who believe that they had another year of eligibility left and tell them to, nope, we're going to kick you out of school right now. You can't play football or basketball or whatever sport it is right now. At the same time, I don't know. If the NCAA wants to be devout and make a sweeping action with this, maybe that's what they're going to do.
Devin is just trying to derail our Big 12 talk. He puts up on Facebook Live. I got a question I would love an answer thought on. LeBron. He's old. He needs to retire. There you go. There's your thought.
No. That's not the thought. That's not what we're giving him.
Yeah, he's old and he needs to retire.
I'll say this. My take on LeBron James, regardless of his talent, Doug, is I'm asking you to understand why people from Ohio, from Northeast Ohio, from Cleveland, might like the guy because he is responsible for the only championship in the pro sports teams of that town since 1964.
Okay, but then he left. And he left your team to go be a superstar out in L.A. I would be just as mad at LeBron as I would happy if I was from Ohio.
I'm still in love with my ex-girlfriend. Who cares?
Well,
okay.
Wow. Okay.
She gave me a lot of good moments. LeBron gave us a lot of good moments. Okay. He gave us a ring. I didn't give her a ring, but you see where the parallels are being drawn.
That's a hell of a take.
I got a point. I know I got a point. That's why Doug's not saying it.
One day when he grows up, he will be MJ. If he stays in the league 35 years, he may achieve that status.
Okay.
I think there might be a therapist or two we could recommend you for help with that situation.
Nah, no marriage necessary for me. Not to a woman, at least. I'm married to the game down here at Big 12 Media Days, baby.
That's right. That's right. Married to Sports Talk. He loves it. All right. Yeah. So there you go. There you go, Devin. You know he's from Ohio. He loves LeBron. What more do you want?
Does he want the high school I went to? Does he want to know that if he's a WWE guy, The Miz graduated from my high school?
Who?
The Miz. If you're a WWE guy. I'm not, but he's apparently a big deal.
Yeah, I'm not either. We do have a David, though, that calls the show that is a huge WWE guy. So he'd be okay with us talking about the WWE for a full segment, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I'm good.
Got guys talking about soccer. Chuck wants to talk about dirt track racing. David wants us to talk about WWE.
Hey.
Devin wants us to talk about LeBron. Damn, is it not football season yet? Where are we at?
We all have interests that we like to.
Can we not get to football season?
At least my racing's local this weekend.
Well, yeah, that's good. You'll be around on Friday.
Yeah. Oh, don't say it like you just. All right, I get it.
I was bursting with enthusiasm.
Yeah,
sense that from Frisco.
Yeah, you heard that. You caught that, didn't you?
He's gonna be here on Friday.
All right, I don't.
Our fun Friday show.
All right.
It wouldn't be a day if I couldn't hang a bunch of crap on Chuck. Right? Man, I appreciate you being on all morning with us. I know that you're going to get very active and go get a lot of people that you're going to interview. We'll be having that hopefully this afternoon on the press box. We'll be bringing some interviews to the table and hearing from some coaches and all that. So enjoy the day, work hard, and appreciate you being on this morning, Andy.
Doug, Chuck, thank you so much. I will make us proud. I will talk to you guys soon.
All right, sounds good. From Frisco again, big shout out, thank you. Moneytown Pond, PNC Barbecue, Jewelry Savers, Mr. B's Donuts, all local businesses supporting local sports talk for our local teams. Go by and say hi. We'll see you tomorrow.
Your latest news on KGSO.